All right.
The East is where we're from. The 12 tribes of Israel. In 721 BC, the Assyrian king, he took us down, we fell. With a great escape we went through the Euphrates. The Lord held the water still. To a land where no mankind dwelt, we went. The 12 tribes of Israel. That's who we be. Manasseh, the Cubans. We from Puerto Rico. And Bali from the Isles of Hawaii. The Lord is calling back Israel. Babylon from Panama. Yeah, the North American Indians. Simeon, the Dominicans. AHAYAH is gathering Israel. The Arabs and Africans told us at gunpoint. Together our wives and children then sold us. In the belly of these great ships we traveled in fear. By the rivers of Babylon we found our brothers here. AHAYAH gatherers in Colombia. Reuben from Australia. Issachar, the Mexicans. AHAYAH's gathering Judah, the Negroes. Benjamin, the West Indians. Levi, the Haitians. AHAYAH's gathering Israel. Reuben from Australia. Issachar, the Mexicans. That's who we be. Judah, the Negroes. Benjamin, the West Indians. Levi, the Haitians. Manasseh, the Cubans. Ephraim from Puerto Rico. And Bali from the Isles of Hawaii. The Lord is calling back Israel. Babylon from Panama. Yeah, the North American Indians. Simeon, the Dominicans. AHAYAH is gathering Israel.
That's right, brothers and sisters. The Most High is gathering Israel. I'm Elder Ricard Shiar of the Gathering of Christ Church here with Elder Lawyer. And of course, we have, elders orbiting the whole scenario around here right now. Elder Iraq, he was dealing with the plants today, and I'm sure Elder Gabar would probably want to come on. We definitely have a serious broadcast to go into, to not just to warn our people, but in warning to encourage our people that the Most High has not forgotten his people. We're not to panic. We're not to have any fear. Fear will move you into your own demise. I've been saying that for over a year now. It's going to be like you ran from a lion and run into a bear, like it speak of in the book of Zechariah. Brothers and sisters, today, we're going to give you all some insight to what's really going on in this earth right now under the quote-unquote virus. But I want to deal with it from a different angle today. We're going to deal with it from the angle of a rebellious generation. A rebellious generation. If anything, with this campaign for the last year or so, our people are not short of being able to follow directives or do what the powers that be suggest. So it's not as if we're ignorant or dumb concerning following directives. We're just rebellious when it comes to what? The directives. The directives that come directly from our God. I've seen this year, Elder Lloyd, and I'm speaking to the elders also, that when our people want to, they can pay attention and do exactly what the authority is telling them to do. There's no rebelling the information that's coming out of the news right now. That's scaring the people. There's no, oh no, we have, matter of fact, not, no rebellion at all. We have people that's actually encouraging the campaign that's being moved in the world right now. So not only are they not rebelling against it, the authorities and the powers that be when it comes to this campaign, they're spearheading it. So our people are rebellious at the wrong time, and usually our rebellion is misdirected towards those who would help them. Chiefly our God. We have a serious broadcast. Make sure you hit the like button. It's unfortunate because we're going to give you some updates of what's going on, especially running into the Hebrew and Bible Academy week 1 this coming Sunday. I mean, we've been off for what, a couple of weeks, so I know Shabbat has something that's going to totally bring, you know, when it comes to news, Shabbat be bringing it, because why? He's in a place right now overseas that's not censored. And it seems like the only news we're getting here in America and Babylon, because the majority of us not looking anyway, because we're not looking hard enough. But mainstream media, it's COVID every day, all day. It's fear, 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 fear. Starting with the elderly last year. Now they ramped up, and I told y'all last year what was going to happen. They're going to ramp it up and ease stuff up and then tell people it's about the children. I said that because they had to find a way to make this part of the what? The regular schedule going back to school. I told everyone. That's why they was holding the children out last year and all that, and scared with the children and don't go there, and whether or not the children should wear masks. Let me tell you, it was about mandating this stuff so that now the schools would push it just like they did the other jabs. And here we are now. And at the end of the day, those who break out the truth concerning what's going on or choose not to medicate ourselves, they're going to turn it around where these people who are standing for what's right will be the problem. That will be the target that's coming. They're going to trigger everyone against the population, against the population who's saying, well, listen, I'm fine the way I am. Here we go now. Now, I have a few bullet points. I'm going to keep this thing on schedules because I know sometimes I can digress into different areas today. I'm going to keep this on rebellious children. I'm going to go there. A rebellious generation, are we? Our people. That's under the world right now. That's under the world's programming right now. Totally rebellious. But not when it comes to what? Big brother. Government. Okay? The news knows best. Right? Well, I'm going to walk y'all through some history, brothers and sisters. Years ago, around in 2009, there was a swine flu scare. All swine flu, all the swine flu. It jumped from a pig Boom, 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 boom. We have to ramp up and see if we can get that. And they were putting the fillers out at that time. Then it went away. Right? Doing a little revisionist history right here. Then it was all about as soon as the fall comes around. Predictive programming. Oh, make sure you get your flu shot. Make sure you get the flu. Hey, the flu season, they heard a new variant is coming. Predictive programming. Right? You had corporate offices, CVS's, Walgreens, all these particular places that were looking to administer, supermarkets, mind you, trying to administer the influenza. Right? Y'all remember that? See, but that wasn't giving people the powers that be the outcome they wanted, because not too many people were actually going for it. The toxicity. So they ramped it up. Let's shut everything down. Shut everything down and got everyone scared. Hit them in their pockets. Shut down retail. Shut down society. Don't allow them to operate one amongst another. Make everyone the enemy until they acquiesce. And it broke the will of the people. The weak people. We seen this thing coming a long time ago, didn't we? I told people, I was like, listen, man, this is what they're going to do. I said it last year. Quote unquote, you can go to AHAYAH 144 and check it out. I said, listen, with people running around with masks on, without breathing and getting used to each other's bacteria, like our body usually does, building up our immunity, soon as the mask come off and you get sick, it's going to be a worse sickness. Because, wow, we're not exchanging bacteria. Our bodies are not growing in immunity. That's science 101. And I said, when they release the mask, they're going to tell people that, oh, this thing has have morphed into something way worse. And then I told people what? I said, listen, right now they're getting the numbers out of anywhere. With the hospitals able to do what they want to do with finagle numbers. But some numbers are going to be real down the line. What numbers? The numbers for those who took the stuff. Now, I said it. Go back to AHAYAH 144. I said it. I'm like, listen, they're going to get their numbers. It's going to be the people that took the stuff. I said it. And they're going to run it up to school. And then they're going to listen. I'm telling you what they're going to do next, folks. Under the truancy programs, they're going to claim that parents are unfit. And these are the parents that doesn't love their children because they will not have their children do this. And they're going to try to pass laws to separate our children from the parents. You try to keep your kid out of school? Truancy. Truancy, why? Oh, because that person doesn't care for the child because that child could have gotten sick or whatever. They're going to have made up stories and all this crap to demonize who? Parents who decide not to include their children in this experiment. That's where it's going. And I'm going to show you where the rebellion comes in one moment. I'm going to show you where the rebellion comes in. I told people last year, I said, listen, I said it last year. I said that the data that they're collecting now, they're going to claim that the CO2 levels went down during the lockdowns. That they're going to claim that the environment began to thrive and to normalize when people wasn't out in public with less business and less cars on the road. The CO2 levels would go down, and then they use the data, and I'm like, they're going to demonize people and claim that what? When we started to go back out, the climate started going crazy again. So now, not only are they blaming the virus on us, okay, they're now blaming bad weather on us, claiming because we're outside and the CO2 level went back up because people started going outside again, that now there's storms, floods, and all that because people went outside. So they're going to look at the numbers and say, well, hold up. Well, coincidentally, the CO2 levels was fine and there were no disaster when people were scared and locked up in their homes. We're going to have to roll this out normally to protect the earth, to protect the climate. It's going to move from a virus to now, no. Going outside means bad weather because it's what they call climate change. Look at your screen. Look at your screen. There's a lot of disasters going on right now. There's flooding over in Europe, flooding in China. But what they're not telling us is about the High Frequency Active Auroral Research Program, HAARP. Now, I didn't make that up. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. You can look up HAARP, HAARP, online yourself. Thousands of antennas that go into the ear to create and cause certain weather patterns. So anytime they want to ramp something up where it's a flood or whatever the case is, they can turn this on right here. And then they'll turn this stuff on, cause issues, and say it's because of people, because we went outside, because we didn't listen, is why the earth is now fighting back. You're going to hear this. But really, it's weather warfare. HAARP redirects. It says High Frequency Active Auroral Research Program, HAARP, was initiated as an ionospheric research program jointly funded by the U.S. Air Force, U.S. Army, and the Universal Alaska Fairbanks and the Defense Advanced Research Projects, DARPA. Now, I'm going to be going into this all the way into the academy. When you hear when you see this word DARPA, we're talking about fallen angel technology. That's given to the world's militaries. Remember that word DARPA, folks. This is how they create their Hegelian dialectic. They create the problem, then they bring their solution. Create the issue so that people would what? Agree with the resolve or the answer. You're going to be hearing about DARPA more and more and more as they progress to the mark of the beast. But I need y'all to see this, brothers and sisters, right here. There it is. Technology that radiates the ionosphere. The ionosphere. It warms inside the what? The ozone. And it can carry weather patterns using a computer system. So when you hear about the weather getting jacked up, they're not going to tell you it's this. They're going to tell you it's because people are going outside and all this other stuff. That people are the enemy. You breathing is the problem. Right? Now, one other thing I would need to show you here. Hold tight. 1 second here. I'm going to bring you in 1 second, Elder Lawyer. 1 moment. One second, Elder Lawyer. All right? Now, I need y'all to look at your screen real quick. Boom. They telling everyone, get these tests and all that, right? Which is really, it's about total control over the people. Making it where you must check to do everything and get permission for everything. This is how what? This is how they can do what? Go around back door and backdoor your freedoms. Well, they're like, no, it's just an emergency. Your freedoms are still intact. You still have the Constitution. You still have your laws. But under an emergency, we can do special things. You should have to check with us when you travel or do anything else. And it's about what? It's about engaging the population. That's all it's about. And having a population scared and with having to ask questions or ask to actually travel or go any place. So here it is. Another bump in the road, tests. Now, there's certain things we brought out in the academy about the test that I can't talk about right now because we have a channel here. But the people who created the test told everyone, listen, there's no way we can use this test to determine whether or not people have things. The person that created the test said that. You're going to have too many false positives. But it's about what? It's about control. If you want to stop a particular people from traveling, guess what? A phone call can happen and all of a sudden, positive test. Oh, you are giving us pushback concerning your contracts. You want to make your own super team and drive up the prices for other slaves? I'll tell you what. Positive test. If you get a positive test, you are automatically ostracized and moved from the team. This is how they can manage their costs and manage who wins or loses. Okay? Let me show you. Let me show you what's up with the tests real quick. This is where your trusty tests are going. Look.
We've all just been set up to make a put mask on. Right, this is the rules. Look, do you think that's safety? There's no safety. This is how they work. This is how you work. Live corona tests coming through. We sat here with just mask, gloves.
There are allegations that they were then ripped open, flung into boxes, discarded. It's about control, folks. They don't care about these tests. They care that you have to ask them for permission. Look, boxes and boxes and boxes of tests. Which means people took the test. They didn't even go to the lab. But the authority was able to tell that person based on whether or not that person was obedient, whether or not they could travel based on what? The authorities telling them they're positive or negative. Okay? But the convenient point is for the government can claim, well, it's out of my hands. I had nothing to do with it. Your test came back positive, so stay home. When really, here's your test right here.
These are life tests. Like, now been tested. We've been working on it. We've been working on this. We've been opening them and closing them. They're supposed to go to the lab to get tested, but guess what? They don't have a
Guess
testing.
what?
I don't think they've got a lab here. This is the lab. This is the lab.
This is the lab right here. They go to lab.
All them boxes will take one and watch.
They go to your lab.
Live corona tests. This is how they're treating this. Not testing them. They're not testing them. They're just telling everybody that they're negative.
Since the beginning, look at all those trash bags filled with tests that never went anywhere. But yet, the authorities were able to tell you, guess what? You got a positive test. Stay home. A matter of fact, you're A positive. You're asymptomatic. So even though you're feeling good, you're still sick. Quarantine and stay away from your family. It was about the authority having the authority to tell people when to go, how to go, and if they can go outside. See? It's all about the authorities having full control over the people through a scare. That's number one. Right? Now I tell you. But our people are rebellious. They don't listen. They don't listen. Maybe one of their politicians can tell them the truth, because majority of our people don't even listen to the news anyway, outside of the idiot box like CNN and CNN, the liberal nut jobs. Listen to this. Let's hear someone from overseas tell you what's going on.
It's around 60% of the people being admitted to hospital with COVID have been double vaccinated.
The people in the hospitals have been double vaccinated? I thought it was I thought the people who didn't get it were the issue and why things are out of control.
It's around 60% of the people being admitted to hospital with COVID have been double vaccinated. And that's not surprising because the vaccines are not 100% effective. They're very, very effective, but not 100%. So the answer is that we should expect to see a higher proportion of people in hospital and catching the infection who are double vaccinated. That is inevitable that we will see that.
So it's inevitable that more people that took this stuff will be hospitalized. Fair use. Now, these are all government videos, stuff that came directly on air while the majority of people in the UK were probably at work. Eventually we'll see a lot of people in the hospital, but these are the people who were scared or felt that they were doing a service by actually getting the stuff. Right? Let's hear it again. Fair use.
It's around 60% of the people being admitted to hospital with COVID have been double vaccinated. And that's not surprising because the vaccines are not 100% effective. They're very, very effective, but not 100%. So the answer is that we should expect to see a higher proportion of people in hospital and catching the infection who are double vaccinated. That is inevitable that we will see that because of the...
Oh, so the people that got it will catch it and be hospitalized. When were they going to tell you that? I told you that last year, right?
The less than 100% efficacy of the vaccines overall.
Oh, isn't that something? Isn't that something? On top of that, in the interim, what's going on? While they're scaring the whole earth, the presidents over the Ivory Coast, Burundi, Swaziland, Tanzania, and the presidents of the Ivory Coast, now included, is the assassinated president of Haiti, You're looking at all the men who are dead, who publicly opposed this campaign for their people. These were the presidents that publicly said, no, our population is fine. There's nothing wrong with my population. I was voted to serve my people. Therefore, keep your stuff where you're in your laboratories. All these presidents who opposed this campaign in Africa are now dead. No short of the president of Haiti, too. And 2 days after the president of Haiti died, the press secretary here in the United States said that, yeah, batches of jabs are now going to Haiti. Right? I mean, coincidence, right? But then, I'll tell you, here we go. Here we go. At the end of the day, here we go. Fair use, fair use.
You finna online date chat, find a mate chat, open up BOK ass, okay yeah, profile picture looking tight chat, nice chat, got your bio reading right chat, precise chat, but before you.
That's right. That's right. People are dying courageously to protect our people from this all around the world. Presidents has died. All of that is going on in the earth. And here's the answer. Right here. See? A rebellious generation who will not hear the word of the Most High. Elder Lawyer, I need you to give me the scripture where it tells us because judgment isn't expedient, it's set in the minds of men to do evil. I need you to get that, lawyer.
Yes, sir.
You find a date chat, you gotta wait chat, gotta go vaccinate chat, get it straight chat.
All right, we're in Ecclesiastes 8 verse 11.
Hold up. Won't you vax that thing up? Look, her holding on the gate. Holding on the gate. Vax that thing up. Look at her with the mask on. Vax that thing up. A rebellious generation who will not hear the word of the Most High. But I'm going to tell you, hey, and I'm not saying this to scare you all before you read this, Elder Lawyer. That scare was put out there for a reason last year, to see how many people, before the enemy comes, would choose the Most High and repent. No sooner as they open things back up, the children of our people, the children of Israel, who were scared for one moment, came out of their houses worse than they were before the scare. And the proof of that is what I'm showing you right here. Presidents have died to protect their people from this. And how do our people repay these courageous men who risked their lives to save their people in Africa? This is how.
In real life, you need to vax that thing up. Feeling freaky all night, you need to vax that thing up. Girl, you look good, won't you vax that thing up? You's a handsome young brother, won't you vax that thing up? In real life, you need to vax that thing.
Hold up now. I need y'all to y'all to see one thing real quick, though. I need y'all to see this. Look at this. Hold up. It's one I want to get in particular. This one right here. Hold up. Where is it? Look at this, folks. Look. Look at this. I'll tell you what, though. Did those men die for nothing? No, the Most High has them. But I'll tell you this. The next time they shut down, these people are going to wish that they did they're going to be crying for the Most High to help them. Because the next time they shut down with these jobs aren't coming back. The retail jobs, they're not coming back. They transitioned all these jobs and kept people afloat in our neighborhood through stimulus. They done already transitioned the whole world's economy. And the people have now been replaced by robots. That's right. This is why Kamala Harris put in a bill that would make prostitution legal. Because after they cut off welfare, all of these things, especially if you choose not to get the stuff, the only option that's going to be out there for sisters in particular is using their body to get what they want. That's why they're legalizing. They already took the step to legalize marijuana, and now they're going to legalize prostitution. It's going to get crazy. And this is how they're going to spread the stuff even more, to a degree where they're going to need to cut off and quarantine not houses, but city blocks. Watch what I'm telling you. They think it's a game, vaxing this thing up, backing it up, and doing all these things. But guess what? Elder Lawyer.
Yes, sir.
Read the scripture.
Ecclesiastes chapter 8, verse 11. Because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the hearts of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil.
Read it again.
Ecclesiastes 8, verse 11. Because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily.
Because the Most High don't destroy you in that moment of sin and disgrace. Because the Most High don't judge a person immediately, giving you grace to repent from these satanic actions. Instead of us looking at that as the Most High's grace, given opportunity, we take that as what? Read it, Elder Lawyer.
Therefore the hearts of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil.
The hearts of men, the hearts of the men is set in them to do evil. Because why? We have brothers and sisters who commit the sin without an immediate judgment. So to them, they believe, well, God, if God existed, I would have been judged already. So since I got away with it this time, it means that, the Most High has given me a pass to be wicked and to destroy his people. But nah. Just because the Most High has given us grace, we were not supposed to take that opportunity to continue in sin. That opportunity, that grace when we did wrong and wasn't judged, is so that we can actually live under Christ's grace. Thank him for not destroying us. And do the right thing knowing the time. Folks, I can't even put out the numbers. I got video where folks tens and tens and tens of thousands of people are dropping like flies who are getting this stuff. They're going after the children, and next, that when they shut things down, it's not coming back. The retail jobs, all that stuff isn't coming back. The post office jobs, all of that's going to be automated. It isn't coming back. They're going to shut down again. But this time, they're going to give one stimulus, and then guess what? The coffers will be dry. Listen to what I'm telling you. There was not enough money under Social Security and retirement that this country and other countries could have paid long term. It was too many people, elderly people, that had packages for retirement and Social Security. But America is in a deficit. So they seen that money that was for retirement and say, you know what? Let's take that money and put it into the campaign to put the people down so there'll be no one to receive it on the other end. If you don't live to 65, guess what? There's no retirement. So when they gave you all those stimulus checks and all that, that money didn't come out of the blue sky. It didn't come out of thin air. That was the money they were using that was left to put the people down. Listen to what I'm telling you. There is no money left. They're not going to be able to sustain welfare. They're not going to be able to sustain your jobs. And when they shut down the next time, it's going to be the real deal. So they gave us an opportunity. They showed us last year what it was all about, shutting things down and all that. And for a moment, it seemed as if our people were getting the message. I mean, emails was being inundated, phone calls, everybody going to church. Man, it seemed as if everyone was finally getting the message. But when they put this that thing out there, I'm like, you know what? There's a subculture in our community that will never get the message. And this is who the judgment is coming for first. So we're not going to have to complain about people and what they're doing and how they're turning their backs on the Most High, how they won't repent. We're not even going to have to complain no more. Judgment is here. They're going to be dropping like flies. Dropping like flies. Another thing I want to show y'all here. Elder Lawyer.
Yes, sir.
Let's get Ezekiel 33. And we are a rebellious generation. And it's a shame because when the government puts something on the news and say, put this in your arm and put this in your family's arm and your children's arm, there's no rebelling at all. There's no rebelling when the powers that be is instructing the people. So our people can listen, but what? We have select listening. We listen to the powers in the God of this world and rebel against the God who made us. So guess what? If you want to follow this God, you get what you ask for. Because Satan, the God of this world, is playing for keeps. Listen to what we're telling you. A rebellious generation. It was our people all on the front knocking on doors, trying to shame people who didn't get the stuff. And the answer over and over again is this: my body, my choice. It was okay for women when they wanted to do early termination. or doctor-patient privilege, privacy. What I do medically is my business. It has nothing to do with me telling people around me whether or not I took a medical procedure. When has that become the norm? Right? When has that become the norm where you have to put out your medical to total strangers? Elder Lawyer, let's read it.
Yes, sir. Ezekiel 33. Which verse?
Let's start at the first verse about blowing the trumpet.
Yes, sir. Ezekiel 33, verse 1. Again, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, speak to the children of thy people, and say unto them, When I bring the sword upon the land, if the people of the land take a man of their coast and set him for their watchman.
That means a leader. If the Most High establishes a leader for the people. Now, this watchman isn't set up to bring forth or to watch for the powers that be. The watchman is set up to tell you what God is saying, what the Most High is doing. What does this Bible warn us to do? A watchman stands at the watchtower. Read.
Verse 3. If when he seeth the sword come upon the land,
he see destruction coming upon the land,
he blow the trumpet,
he tell everyone a judgment is coming. A judgment's here. He blows the trumpet. He don't carry the company line in the world's line. Everyone is blowing the trumpet for this stuff. And no one is blowing the trumpet for God. No one. No one is asking, what is God's hand in all of this? I think I have something here. 1 second. Thank you. I'm going to show this in a moment. Go on, Elder Lawyer. Finish reading that part again.
Yes, sir. Verse 3. If when he seeth the sword come upon the land, he blow the trumpet.
He blow the trumpet.
And warn the people.
And do what?
And warn the people.
And warn the people. And that's what I'm doing. As you can see, folks, through this whole thing, we've been cool as ice water. Unwavering. Unwavering. Letting you know this is what the Most High is saying in this. Yes, we're dead smack in the middle of a tribulation. A test of wills. And guess what, brothers and sisters? I keep telling you, the majority of people aren't going to make it through this. Read that last piece again, Elder Lawyer.
Ezekiel 33, verse number 3. If when he seeth the sword come upon the land, he blow the trumpet and warn the people.
And warn the people. Warn them what? About what? Immorality. Wickedness. How long the Most High been warning us about what? The separation of families. People dealing with alternative lifestyles. Fornication. Wickedness. Evil. Lying. Oh, so the Most High said, so you don't want to listen to me? I'm going to place the immoral, wicked people that you decided to allow to operate over you. Read that last piece again, Elder Lawyer.
Yes, sir. Verse number 3. If when he seeth the sword come upon the land, he blow the trumpet,
and warn the people. And warn the people. Come on.
Verse 4. Then whosoever heareth the trumpet or the sound of the trumpet and taketh not warning.
So that means the people, if you decide not to listen. Read.
If the sword come and take him away, his blood shall be upon his own head.
His blood shall be upon his own head. Which means the watchman did his job. If he tell the people, if we tell you what's going on and you decide not to listen anyway, and you follow what the world is telling you, guess what? The blood is on you. Why? Read, Elder Lawyer.
He heard the sound of the trumpet.
That person heard it over and over again. Over and over again, but chose fear over the Most High. Or chose their own, what? Selfishness over the Most High. I want to be able to do things. I want my life to go back to normal. Selfish. Selfish. So anyone with half a brain, I don't mean to be condescending, but anyone would think twice, or at least stay in a wait and see mode during what the government said outright is an experimental jab. They told you the FDA didn't approve this for the regular schedules. It could only be pushed out like this under what? A state of an emergency, under a pandemic. Common sense would have told people, like, listen, hold up. The most I'll do is consider it by what? Through a wait and see scenario. If it's experiment, I'm the wait and see. You're not experimenting on me. That's the least you could have done for yourself. Or they told me I'm asymptomatic. I don't know. I feel normal, but I don't know. I may be sick. I'm going crazy. I don't know which way is up. You know why? Because why? You've rebelled against God. You're so busy doing what you want to do out there in this world. So busy under the spirit of selfishness, indulging in the world, you have forgotten God. What does it say here? You
Verse
got it.
5.
Hold up, brother lawyer. Twilight Zone. Imagine, if you will, a world run by psychopaths, faking your whole reality. You know these people that are that are behind this stuff. You know that they're not wound too tight. And I'm speaking of the doctors that they roll out there, the experts. You look at the backgrounds of these people. These people are bat crap crazy. But they package it in a corporate way to make you think, well, smart people are saying it. So it makes sense because smart people are saying it. Imagine, if you will, Twilight Zone. Imagine, if you will, a world run by psychopaths, faking your whole reality. And that's why I told people last year, turn the TV off and open up the book. It's clear. It's evident. It's radiating. It's full lights on what's going on in the earth right now. If you've been following God. And I've been blowing the trumpet. Like, don't never have someone make you believe you're sick when you feel absolutely normal. The power of psychology, which is sorcery. You asymptomatic. Oh, you could have it. Well, I felt like I felt in 2019. I felt well in 2019. Oh, because it's 2020. Me feeling normal is still the possibility of me. This is the psycho stuff that's going on. There's still a possibility that I may give somebody something feeling perfectly normal as I did in 2018 and 19. And they want to, and they claim that we're the crazy ones. Think about that. We're the crazy ones. People are not even in touch with their own bodies to actually know their bodies and know their health and know where they stand physically. They don't even know their own bodies. Just to stand and in a nutshell, if I know my body, I know if I'm sick or not. If I'm in tune with my body. How are you going to have somebody on TV say, listen, you're perfectly well, but you still might get someone else sick? Doesn't even make sense. So a voice of reason must cut through, and the only voice of reason that can cut through is the Most High, is His Word, to give us some level of gravity through all of this confusion. People are not even in touch with their own bodies anymore. How can someone on TV tell you how you feel? Oh, you may be carrying it. You may not be carrying it. You're perfectly. Guess what? Even though you're perfectly healthy, you're still a threat. Stay in the house and shut up. Okay? That's really what it's coming down to. You move when I tell you to move. And that's where it's coming down to. Come on, other lawyer, let's go.
Ezekiel 33, verse number 4.
Huh?
Then whosoever heareth the sound of the trumpet and taketh not warning,
hold up,
if
lawyer.
the sword...
Hold up, lawyer.
Yes, sir.
It's good now. I had to focus it up a little bit. That should be better. Go ahead, other lawyer.
Yes, sir. Ezekiel 33, verse 4.
Yes.
Then whosoever heareth the sound of the trumpet and taketh not warning...
And taketh not warning. Come on.
If the sword come and take him away, his blood shall be upon his own head.
His blood shall be what?
Upon his own head.
Shall be upon his own head. Let me get you in, lawyer. One moment. Let me get you back in here. One moment. Oh, yeah. They go Elder Gabar. Read that again for me, Elder Lawyer.
Yes, sir. Ezekiel 33, verse 4.
Come on.
Then whosoever heareth the sound of the trumpet and taketh not warning, if the sword come and take him away, his blood shall be upon his own head.
Come on.
Verse 5. He heard the sound of the trumpet and took not warning. His blood shall be upon him. But he that taketh warning shall deliver his soul.
Read that again.
Verse 5. He heard the sound of the trumpet and took not warning.
And took not warning. Come on.
His blood shall be upon him.
His blood shall be upon him. The person who didn't take warning, his blood shall be upon him. That's on you. Read on. So what we're not going to allow people to do is put the burden on us after they made those decisions. Okay? You're not going to put the burden on us to accept your decision, when you should have listened to God. Guess what, folks? It was broken down last Sabbath. Yeah, folks, brothers and sisters have no idea what this is. Because people wasn't falling for the influenza stuff and just voluntarily taking their doses of death, they progress and move this campaign. They moved this campaign to where it is right now because people weren't voluntarily taking their what? Shots. So, folks, don't let people guilt or try to shame you into something when you're perfectly healthy. And now it's a thing where these people are so out of their mind. They're starting. And a lot of these people, folks, know that since they took this stuff, they've been ill. They know it. But they're trying to play it off when they're amongst people, as if everything is fine. They're getting headaches and all these things that are not being reported on the news. They are getting jacked. And people are too proud to say, well, guess what? I started feeling different ever since the day I took that stuff. They're too proud to say it. And now they want to drag us in it with them. No, thank you. Read the next piece, Elder Lawyer.
But he that taketh warning shall deliver his soul.
He that taketh warning shall deliver his soul. Read.
Verse 6. But if the watchman see the sword come, and blow not the trumpet,
and blow not the trumpet,
and the people be not warned,
and the people be not warned,
if the sword come and take any person from among them,
come on,
he is taken away in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at the watchman's hand.
That means if the watchman, a man was set up by God to warn the people, and the people didn't get the right information on what to do under any circumstances. If the people die, then the blood falls on the watchman's hands. Okay? The watchman was placed at the tower to watch over the people by God. The watchman reading the Bible should know what tribulation looks like. When every day the news is talking death, 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 it must be something, what? Prophetic, biblical. A watchman is supposed to see this and say, well, nah. Our God says that we're not to defile our temple with an experiment. Okay, that's what our God says. Our God says to trust in him and he'll heal. If you are sick, we've been sick before. I've gotten a cold before. I've gotten a bad flu before. And guess what? I recovered. So if this thing has over a 95% recovery rate, why am I what? Why am I confused concerning whether or not I should take a substance? We've always gotten over colds or flus. See? And the watchman is supposed to say, nah, they're tricking you. Trust God. And I told you all last Sabbath, folks, this stuff that's been given to mankind, folks, there'll be no walking this back. It's only going to be years later they're going to tell you the real effects of this stuff. And what's going to happen is people are going to start dealing with each other. And guess what? You'll be spreading the euthanization. You'll be spreading the sterilization. Husband to wife, girlfriend to boyfriend, especially how they're promoting free sex and free love and girl power and all this other stuff they're putting out there to promote sexual activity. This stuff will grow ahead on its own. Because the watchman is supposed to tell people, listen, we don't know the long-term implication of this. I don't care what the experts say on TV. My expert is coming from up here. And if the word of God says don't do it, don't do it. And you can be rebellious if you want. Experts say something today. Experts say something entirely different tomorrow. Elder Lawyer.
Yes, sir.
Do me a favor. Let's get what the Most High say about us being a rebellious people. Then I want to go to Nehemiah real quick, the book of Nehemiah.
Yes, sir. Ezekiel chapter 30, verse number 9. That this is a rebellious people.
They are a what?
A rebellious people.
The Most High says our people are rebellious people. They'll listen to everyone out there, the news, the government, all that. And it's a shame, because if we were in Egypt, under that captivity in Egypt, in the mindset we're in right now, with the mentality we have right now, Pharaoh would have convinced the nurses to kill the man child. And if we were living, if that happened, if in our mindset and you put us back in Egypt, Moses would have had his neck broke at birth. Pharaoh put out a decree to tell the nurses to kill the man child. And the women refused. The women said, the women wasn't heading that campaign. Okay, I got something here in 1 second. Straight from the inventor's mouth. Hold tight, Elder Lawyer. I think I have something. Finish reading what you have, Elder Lawyer, while I get it.
Yes, sir. Isaiah 30, verse number 9.
Come on.
That this is a rebellious people.
A rebellious people.
Lying children.
Lying children.
Children that will not hear the law of the Lord. Which say to the seers, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things.
See, and they tell the prophets and the teachers of the Bible to shut up. You a cult. What do you know? Don't prophesy to us right things like family. You know, like tradition, like laws. Come on.
Which say to the seers, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things.
They say, don't prophesy to us right things. Read.
Speak unto us smooth things.
Speak unto us what?
Smooth things.
Smooth things. Come on.
Prophesy deceits.
Lie to us. Lie to us. So since you've been asking your pastors to lie to you, in the midst of a pandemic, that's exactly what they did. The governments of the world got your pastors on board and they took the check. They took the check. So since you wanted your preacher to tell you lies, they told you lies. The same preacher who told you that Christmas is December 25th is Christ's birthday, that we're to celebrate paganism and wickedness and all this crap, you know, the Roman ceremonies and witchcraft and all these things. Because that's what all these holy days lead to, straight witchcraft and child sacrifice. And since we listen to the preacher's lies, like, okay, let me put one more on the conveyor belt. Let me put one more lie that's going to finish churches, gatherings, everything. The last lie your preacher will tell you, and it's this one. Churches are never coming back the way they used to, especially our churches. Finish reading, Elder Lawyer. Rebellious children, come on.
Verse number 11.
Come on.
In fact, I'll start back at the top. Verse 9. That this is a rebellious people, lying children, children that will not hear the law of the Lord, which say to the seers, see not, and to the prophets, Prophesy not unto us right things.
Don't tell us the right thing to do. Read.
Speak unto us smooth things.
Make us feel good.
Mm.
You're scaring me with this stuff. Tell me how I could just get over it and not feel and not have this fear. How can a preacher tell you not to have fear when he's afraid himself? Think about it. He don't know what's going on. So if he get it, he's going to push it on his congregation. Read.
Speak unto us smooth things, prophesy deceits, get you out of the way, turn aside out of the path, cause the Holy One of Israel to cease from before us.
Cause the Holy One of Israel to cease from before us. That's not the white man right there, folks. That's our people saying that in the Bible. Put a pastor over us that will tell us lies and feel good about what? Straight sin. Get that God out of the way with rules. That God out of the way who gave the law to the children of Israel. That would put us above all people. We don't want that burden and responsibility of walking upright with class. And walking regal with respect. No, get that God out of the way while we vax that thing up. See? This is the God we want. See? And folks, and I'll tell you right now, I don't mean to have a sense of humor with it because it's serious what I'm talking about right now. But think about it, folks. After the video shoot with who that guy who said back that thing up, Juvenile, whoever his name is, a grown man by the name of Juvenile. Okay, that in of itself should tell you something. Listen. If you were to poll the majority of people in that video after the video shoot, they would have 99.9% of them would have told you that they came out of the Christian church, including Juvenile. If you ask them, well, what religion you grew up under, 99.9% of these people in the video grew up going to church, Christians. See? And it was their pastor who told them, listen, it's not about judging people. You're living under grace. Enjoy your life. It was their pastors, folks. If I was to poll those people after the video, 9 times out of 10, they'll tell you right out. Yeah, I grew up Christian. My mom, and some of them in that video will tell you, yeah, my father's a pastor. Yeah. Here's the guy, Elder Lawyer, who actually invented the vaccine. I want to show this real quick, and I'm going to allow you to say something. And then we can bring in Elder... hold on. And then we can bring in Elder Gabar. Fair use. Here's Robert Malone and Steve Kirsch and Brett Weinstein. Right? Listen, and these are guys who are responsible for, a lot of these guys, one of the doctors were responsible for helping to create some of this, the test and all those things. Listen to what it says about the spike protein. Right here, fair use.
The S1 subunit and the spike protein was toxic. And so they knew, the FDA knew about the biodistribution. And one of the scary things is that the biodistribution peaks in your ovaries. And
so just to nail the point home, they did know.
They did know.
I did send them the manuscripts. So, and their determination was
It's a harmless spike protein.
that they didn't think that that was sufficient documentation of the risk that spike was biologically active.
Right. They did not believe the spike was biologically active. That was the big mistake.
We now know the spike protein is very dangerous.
Very dangerous.
Is biologically
We also know, so if it was very dangerous, but it did what the brochure on these vaccines says it should do, which is lodge in the membrane of the cells that are doing the transcribing, it would be a lot less destructive, right?
I think that's fair, and you're right. It's not just the the documentation about the vaccine. It's the prior literature that was put out by the people that developed it, that developed these clones. So they were aware that there was a risk of a spike being biologically active and having adverse events if it did not stay stuck to the cells that were transfected, that got the RNA and made it. Okay. And they used a genetic engineering method of putting a transmembrane domain on it to ensure that it stayed anchored and stayed put. And they did limited non-clinical studies to say, looks like it stays stuck.
Right.
We engineered it to stay stuck.
They did.
And they published that. Here's the thing.
Specially engineered.
Okay. Is that that's generally not good enough in a non-clinical data package. So before we get a product released to use in humans, in the normal situation where we're not in a rush, we have some really rigorous tests that have to be done in animals. And revealing that spike gets cleaved off of expressed cells and becomes free is something that absolutely should have been known and understood well before this ever gotten put into humans. So I'll just leave it at that.
All right. Well, that's
the smoking gun.
Let me just make one thing clearer. You said it very clearly, but lots of people who aren't familiar with this aren't going to get it. Okay. So the RNA gets into the cell. It is translated by the ribosome into a protein. In this case, it's the spike protein, which is the best target on the coronavirus.
We could debate that, but go ahead.
But it's at least a very good one. It's a prominent one.
Good target. And nobody argues with that.
If the antibodies grab onto it, the most likely thing to happen is that they will block it from doing what it does that facilitates the entry into the cell. So if everything works the way the brochure says, it's a good target.
After about 5 days, though, the antibodies have to be...
So the whole reason to use an adenoviral vector or an mRNA is not just to generate antibodies. And a lot of the data, and a lot of us that are deep in this data, think that the way that they're really providing the protection is by cellular cytotoxicity. So you're getting CTLs against it. And that's the reason to use this gene therapy-based technology is not just to generate neutralizing antibodies, but to generate cytotoxic T lymphocytes.
Okay,
Now, I got to play the rest this Sunday because usually when I play too much of this stuff, we get, y'all know what happens, right? Usually something happens where we can't utilize this platform like everyone else. But yeah, very, very dangerous. And they've been targeting our people with this. And because our people are rebellious, because they don't want to listen, because they're stuck in sin instead of coming back to the Almighty, they're getting exactly what they've been asking for. Because why? These people, like me, like brother AC, who just sent me this, and I get so much information. If you want the research telling you what's really going on with this stuff, if you really wanted to search it out, it's out there. It's readily available. But our people want to walk around with closed eyes and close their ears. And see, when you try to tell them, they act as if it's something foreign. But if they really wanted to do the investigation, they could. I need you to think about that, folks. I need you to think about that. There's a such thing as what? Consent. There's a way you can do things where say, well, listen, I need to get both sides of the spectrum before making a decision. Worst case scenario, I'm not going to say no about this, but I'm going to stay in wait and see mode as long as I can. I don't have to outright say no. I don't have to make a decision right now. See? The worst case scenario, I'm stuck in wait and see. And see, that's wisdom. What I'm dropping to you, brothers and sisters, is wisdom. You don't got to push back and say, I've seen a video here and there's a spike protein there. No. I will research the information, because there's a such thing that's called, a lot of you don't understand this, but it's called informed consent. Informed consent, which means I don't have to say no. I'm collecting data right now to make what? A logical decision, understanding that I can't take this back. When a spike protein attaches itself to my cell and begins to multiply, and this is what Fauci and all told you, it's a spike protein. What a spike protein does, it goes into your body, attaches to cells, and multiplies. You can't reel that back. Something has attached itself to your being. There's no way to draw that back and move that back to the way it was. So here it is. I'm dealing with my informed consent. I'm not going to have somebody tell me it's safe and trust them on face value. When have they ever told our people anything that was good for us? When? What part of history? Where they was pushing something so hard on us that would benefit us. And when it all comes crashing down, and it will very soon, you know what they're going to have? Plausible deniability. They're going to come out and tell you right out, well, the experts at that time said it was safe. There wasn't enough data to understand what the long-term adverse events would be. But you can't say anything because we were under a pandemic. There was many things out there. You know, it was so confusing at the time, and we went with what was out there. And under emergency, we had full autonomy to do so. That's how they're going to come. And the people that sat back and wait and see, like you and I, and sat back and look, going to be like, well, it didn't affect me anyway. Okay. The same people who rush this stuff on you are going to be speaking on the other side of their mouth a few years from now when the numbers bear out and say, well, who could have known it was in a pandemic? We had to rush it out. We gave them what we had under an emergency mandate. Too bad. Doesn't matter how many people, pushing daisies or sterilized or whatever the case is. You can't have children. Oh, you got blood clots. Well, oh, you killed over, heart attack. Listen, who could have known? Conform. It's called informed consent. Right? Elder Lawyer.
Yes, sir.
Last scripture real quick before I bring in Elder Gabar. I'm going to open up the lines. I need you to go to the book of Nehemiah for me. I need you to read Nehemiah 4 and 14. Nehemiah 4 and 14.
Nehemiah 4, verse number 14.
Come on.
And I looked and rose up and said unto the nobles and to the rulers to the rest of the people.
So Nehemiah stood up to speak to the nobles, the leaders of our people back then. The nobles are the intellects, those who really are the authority over the society. He rose up, Nehemiah, and stated what, Elder Lawyer?
Be not ye afraid of them. Remember the Lord, which is great and terrible.
Be not afraid of them. Be not afraid of them. Fear. Remember the Most High, our God. Look at what our God have taken us through. And we're still here. Slave ships, sold, families separated. And this world would not have been great without us. You think the Most High is going to forget us through this crap? That's what Nehemiah said. Have you forgot who we've been rolling with? What's wrong with our people? The Most High hasn't forsaken Israel. Israel has forsaken their God. The Most High haven't forsaken us. We're forsaken him. Hard-headed. And now we're dropping like flies. This is regentrification on steroids. That's what this is. Last year was the property grabs. On top of the property grabs where everybody's scared, running around with a mask trying to get some toilet paper, they were reshifting the whole corporate structure of business. Property grab, farm grabs. And eventually they're going to make it where most of the people are going to have to foreclose and sell their places, not having any money. That's right, because the majority of us don't have savings. And the whole world will be at the behest of the beast. That's what this is. This is business. This is Satan's business. Well, I thought if I got the jab that I wouldn't catch it. Oh no. That's what we said a few months ago. That switched. Yeah, you got the jab, but you can still catch it. So shut up and put on your mask and social distance. Well, why did I take it for? Don't worry about it. Something real nice have cleaved to you. Don't even worry about it. Keep looking at the news. They'll tell you what happens next, okay? I thought if I did this, things would go back to normal. Sorry. We lied to you again. No. Shut up. Put your mask on. Social distance. And guess what? Hey, I hope you got a good life insurance. Okay? Because if not, we may have to grind you up and use you as fertilizer. And if you think I'm saying something that's, if you think that's a sense of humor that's coming out, no, folks, I have paperwork. We're going into it in the academy. Well, yeah, they're going to be grinding people down and using them as fertilizer. With all that bad stuff in you, that's right. They're going to put it in the ground and feed you your people. I'm going to show you. I can't show here. That's the next phase of this. Just donate your family to science. We'll take care of them. Come on, other lawyer. Read that last piece again.
Yes, sir. Nehemiah 4:14.
Come on.
And I looked and rose up and said unto the nobles and to the rulers and to the rest of the people, be not ye afraid of them. Remember the Lord, which is great and terrible, and fight for your brethren.
And fight for your brethren. Read.
Your sons.
Your sons.
And your daughters.
And your daughters.
Your wives.
Your wives.
And your houses.
And your houses. It's time to circle the wagon. They just didn't tell you. It's been a fight. But the fight has been escalated. They're coming after your children. They're going to shut everything down because guess what? Hey, I know it's probably surprised them that they didn't get the pushback that they thought they would get, especially in America. They're like, oh, they're ready. They're ready for us to roll over them now. The key is their purses. If they believe that they're going to lose all their finances or not have a place to work or anything, if they cannot plan out their future financially, the majority of the population is lost. We can use the purse strings to squeeze them. See? We're going to squeeze them. Folks. Now, I'm going to go into it this Saturday of what they're planning with your athletes and those in high position. Because guess what? A lot of our people who are in those high places, a lot of them, folks, they aren't selling out at all. They're in positions of generational wealth. And guess what? We have people, our people who are Israelites in all those different areas. That's right. Who are planning to do things financially to help their communities, to stop the regentrification. That's right. This Israelite will started rolling, and folks, the athletes, singers, all these cats know that we're Israel. A lot of them in high positions know we're Israel, but they're keeping it buttoned and saying, well, listen, instead of this non-profit stuff we're doing, I'm going to put money back into my communities and change the communities. And that will be our non-profit business. A lot of them were planning this, and it was going to slow up regentrification. I'm going to talk about that this coming Sabbath. It's more people than you know, brothers and sisters, who know this truth. So here's the answer for those who are holding generational wealth for our people. They're going to squeeze them. Listen to what I'm telling you. I'm going to be going into that a little bit this coming Saturday and going into the academy Sunday. I mean, I'm going to say, sometimes I have to watch what I'm saying because the whole thing is, it's like this. I'll say what I can say here on YouTube. Okay? Sometimes I have to catch myself. So it's not that I don't know or I'm losing my thought. When I slow up or trip over words, nah, it's because I'm like, okay, I can't say that here. I can't speak freely here. But folks, I'm going to tell you this right now. There's more people in position, a lot of them. And those who were asleep and didn't know any better, that's in a high echelon financially. They have been converted. They know the truth. They see the squeezing going on. And that's why there's a lot of pushback with teams right now. But I'm going to deal with that this Saturday. Go ahead, Elder Lawyer. That last piece again. Read the whole 14th verse. Read it once more.
Yes, sir. Nehemiah 4, verse 14.
Yeah.
And I looked and rose up and said unto the nobles, and to the rulers, and to the rest of the people, be not ye afraid of them. Remember the Lord, which is great and terrible, and fight your brethren, or fight for your brethren.
Fight for your brethren.
Your sons.
Your sons.
And your daughters.
And your daughters.
And your wives.
And your wives.
And your houses.
And your houses. You can't see that our families are under attack right now? Nehemiah said, listen, don't be afraid of them. The Most High God, the God of Israel, told us this day would come. Circle the wagons and get in front of all of this for your family. They came for the elderly last year. They're coming for your children now. Okay? I'm telling you right out. Circle the wagons because they're going to shut stuff down. They're going to shut the finances off. They're going to threaten to take council housing, food stamps, Section 8. They're coming after everything. Watch. Watch. And your preachers, who cares about your preachers? A lot of them got the jab. There will be no preachers soon. There will be no leaders who took this stuff. Okay? They're going to ramp up that 5G. These cats going to get hallucinations, headaches, all. They're going to be losing their minds. TD Jakes have used up his usefulness for them. The same as Creative Flow of Dollars, Creflo Dollar. They have used up their use. And now, if they take the stuff, boom, magically disappear. This is where it's at. Folks, a spiritual war is going on, and it has become physical. But people don't understand the physicality parts of war, because the majority of people don't know about what? Bioweapons. Bioweapons. Folks, the best way to destroy an enemy without engaging is through what? Either, cause them to divide and conquer and destroy each other, which they use endlessly on us, or if that don't work, bioweapons, poison. Rome was known for poisoning people. How do you get rid of your enemies? You poison them. That's how you poison them. What's an obedient slave? There's no obedient slave like a sick slave. Okay. Elder Lawyer, Job 13:8, and then I'm going to bring in Elder Gabar. Forges of lies. Let's get that. A matter of fact, hold that, and let me go to the blog talk, and then I'll bring you both in. All right?
Yes, sir.
Get Forges of Lies for me.
Yes, sir.
All right. Shalom.
Shalom.
1 second, folks. Let me call into the line, because there's many people. I know who want to chime in and talk on this. 1 second. Call. Yep. All right. 1 second, folks. Let me pull it up. 515-605-9327. I need you all to call in, because if you're going to call in, 515-605-9327, call in before the calls are actually cut off, okay? If you're going to get in. And make sure to hit the 1 for questions or comments.
Blog Talk Radio. Welcome to Blog Talk Radio. Please hold and you will be able to listen to the show.
Okay, Elder Ramar. Okay, I'm in with Blog Talk. I'm in now. Okay, great. All right, I have Elder Lawyer. Now let me bring in, let me add Elder Lawyer. And let me add now Elder Gabar. Yes. Okay. Praise the Most High. It works perfectly here. There go Elder Gabar. There he is. Elder Gabar, you with us? Oh, we got over 3,000, almost 4,000 people. Make sure you hit that like button and drive the traffic up here for us. Key information that you can't hear anywhere else is right here. And if you think this is something, Hebrew and Bible Academy, week 1, that's right. You got it. The creation of the universe, and you'll have visuals showing the angels and all that, the earth and all that, the visuals of how the earth was made out of heaven. Heaven was first. And earth, the sphere, is suspended in heaven. And I'm going to be going into that this coming Sunday for the first week of the Hebrew and Bible Academy. Let me pull up Elder Gabar. How you doing, Elder Gabar?
Shalom, Elder. How we doing? Can you guys hear me?
Loud and clear. You sound absolutely perfect, Elder. I'm going to bring in Lawyer because I know Lawyer have a few things to say, but since you was on, I want you to go ahead first, and then I'm going to have Lawyer say, and then we'll open up the lines.
Blessings. I just wanted to just to kind of land back in regards to what you were saying. And I was doing some research, and I was speaking to Elder Lawyer, I think, yesterday about the subject. And then it's unrelated, but it's somewhat is related. The question I was asking, because I was doing research for a lesson or just on my own, is the Bible is the only record, religious record, that actually described the institution of marriage. Is there any other record, outside of the Abrahamic faith, if they call it, what they call it, which is you can't come, Islam or the Quran, because the Quran is basically a copy of the Bible. Obviously the Bible itself, the record, is the only recorded history or any book of any religious institution. I was looking into Buddhists, I was looking into other records to see if it actually gives you a description of what is marriage and what is the do's and don'ts and things like that. So I was just, I want to just, launch back on today's conversation. But what I want to touch on today, Elder, in what's going on. I was reading this article and out of PEW Research Center. And basically what's happening, and I'll read the title. It says, let me get it right here real quick. It's basically saying that Christianity as we know it, it says Christianity remains the world's largest religious group, but they are declining rapidly in Europe and in the United States. Mm-hmm. So when I looked at this chart, it is rapid, basically they broke it down into different generations.
Okay.
Right? And, as we, depending on what age bracket you're in, okay, let me just get it real quick. I'm sorry, my apologies. And depending what generation you're in, it will depend whether this will fit for you. So basically, in America, and I gave you this chart. I sent you this chart on the YouTube. I think I sent it on the Skype there. So basically, the largest place that Christianity remains, right, is in Africa. You have Ghana 89%, Nigeria 82%, Ethiopia and South Africa 97%, South Africa 79%. The second largest is Latin America, which is 77%, heavy Christian community. The third largest is 68%, but is literally decreasing rapidly in America. It's and they broke it down that you got the generation, the silent generation, the baby boomers, Generation X, that's my generation, and the millennials, that's the generation after that. And I think there's another group after that is going down rapidly in Europe now and in America. But this is the funny thing, Elder, when I was looking at this chart. Where does Christianity is the least in? Right? Now, Christianity as we know it today, not what we study, not what we teach, but Christianity from a Western perspective started in Europe. So let's look at where does Europe, where does Christianity lines in Europe? So let's go to Denmark, 9%, the UK, 11%, Germany, 12%, France, 12%, Spain, 30%, Greece, 38%, Israel, 58%. It's funny how they add Israel as the European countries. That's it. Italy. Now, Italy, right, is the Mecca of Roman Catholicism, right? Out of that came all the other Protestants, and 23% of Italians are religious. Poland, 32, and others, Russia, 16, okay? So it looks like Christianity and the Bible is most popular, is being held more tightly by people of color, and particularly the Hebrew Israelite in the diaspora. Africa, South America is second, and third is America. And we know that 90% or I think 98% of churchgoers are people of color in America. Yeah. So it's showing that we are the ones that are holding this Bible. We are the ones that are holding on to these traditions. The rest of the world are not. And that includes in Europe. In Europe, it's going all through the Middle East. Is pretty much the Middle East is like 0% practically. South Korea, 38%. Let's see here. The Philippines, another place where our people are at, 91%. So it looks like, every single time that the majority of that we do research, that we went to, the Bible is held up in a high regard. But it is declining in America, and it's been declining in Europe. I mean, it's almost non-existent in Europe. The birthplace of modern day Christianity. So I just thought it was interesting that this is what's going on throughout the world, but yet the Christianity that most people are following, or most of our people are following, when you go to the place where that Christianity started, the white Jesus, the Sunday worship, the Christmas, started in Europe, in which they're not even following anymore in a high number. They have abandoned that religion. Yeah. So to show you the reason why they now are not really holding on to Christianity the way they used to, because the slaves have woken up, and we know who we are. Yeah, we're not going on the same traditions that they were teaching and they were enslaving us by. So I just want to hear what that. Yeah. It's interesting that from a global perspective, that now you see that the people that are holding on to the Bible the most is our people. That's our strength. Yes. But now the Most High is seeking us to worship it in truth, and in spirit and in truth. We have to throw away those lies, and we got to bring back the spirit of truth in back in the scripture. What the Bible says, that's what we do. And I yield with that, Elder.
Well, Elder Gabar, I'm glad you brought that out. I'm going to bring the lawyer in. They go, Elder Gabar. Yeah, the only reason that Esau ever really dealt with the Bible in of itself was to infiltrate and use it as a form of control with them as the authority. It was all about power from what you would call the Roman authority. They never really liked Christ like that, the Romans. Right. But they knew that, we inherently were connected to these records, the Hebrew records. So as a form of control, they began to learn our record to do what? So that they can learn and rehearse and understand our behaviors. So it really wasn't a thing. Now, not to say all of the Europeans were this way from a layman's standpoint, because there's many Gentiles who believed. Right. But these numbers that you're bringing forth are staggering. It was always about being where we were, and a people who were always in the Bible. So these Gentiles in authority set up theologian schools so they can use that as a form of control, teaching false doctrine to keep us under control. But if we throw out the doctrine, Israelites, like Christ was an Israelite, the disciples were Israelites. When we throw out the false doctrine, they feel there's no use for the book anymore. Yep. Because why? Because when we throw out their false pagan doctrine, now they can no longer control us using our book. Great point. Elder Lawyer, anything you want to say before I bring in the calls?
Yes, sir. I want to land back, if you will, off of the points you were making concerning our responsibility as it relates to informed consent. Yes. When we're dealing with these types of situations. So believe it or not, those terms, irregardless of how strong the barrage or the attack may be coming on, those words are like crosses to vampires. When you're talking, or when you're dealing in those situations where people are trying to pretty much push a procedure upon you that you're not either comfortable with, or you're not educated enough or have the information to be able to make an informed decision to go forward with that procedure.
Okay.
So we have to really get into the spirit of using that terminology of informed consent. And I say it because of this. Number one, you were mentioning quite a few things which were very key, and as well as that video that you played by doctors who are very well informed concerning the nature of this, I guess you would say the juice, the ins and outs of the juice, I'll say. All right. So going back to the beginning of this thing, we were told on a daily basis, and we're still being told, to listen to the experts. Listen to the experts. But here's the problem. The experts are divided when it comes to their stances on the juice.
Exactly.
On one side, you got the experts who are just pro-juice, don't ask any questions, don't go for don't ask anything, just get the juice. You need to get the juice. We need to get back to normal. Get the juice. Mm-hmm. Then you got those on the other side who are saying, listen, we're not anti-juice. In the past, we may have said get the juice for other reasons, but specifically when it comes to this thing, we are skeptical because it has not gone through the same procedures that other juices, if you will, have gone through.
Exactly.
And, you know, there's things that we're looking into and that we're seeing about this, like the video you just played, showing that there's actual toxins. Not to say that there aren't toxins, and we know there are toxins in all of the juices. Yeah. Okay, all of the Kool-Aid they got going on, there's toxins in all of it. But they're saying that this one specifically is much different than the ones we've seen before.
Hold on. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm listening.
Yep, no problem. So I just want to go through a few scriptures just kind of addressing, and this is, you know, obviously there's scriptures all throughout the Bible that speak about using your ability to think critically, use your critical thinking, making informed decisions, the Most High putting decisions before us to choose good or evil, to choose life or death. Those scriptures are all throughout the Bible, but I just want to go through a few which kind of relate to this, what we're dealing with. Okay. First, going to the book of 2 Timothy, the 4th chapter and the 2nd verse. And this is what we've been seeing. We have been seeing, and we're continuing to see when it comes to people who are making decisions concerning this. I'll start at verse number 3 for the sake of time. It says, 2 Timothy 4:3, for the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine. So we know that this is relating specifically to scriptural doctrines, biblical doctrines, which relate to the salvation of our soul versus doctrines which are considered heresy. So we understand the proper context, but just bringing it into the conversation of what we're talking about today, you have people who are not enduring sound information, who are just listening to one side of the discussion and saying that because this person on the news or this expert who was on TV said, get it, I'm going to go get it. Or people saying that people who don't travel at all saying, well, I'm going to get the juice this year because I want to go on vacation. Or I want to travel. But you haven't traveled your whole life. So now because the juice is out there and all of these things are circulating, now people are making decisions to do things that they've never done just as an excuse to get the juice. Moving on, it says, but after their own lusts shall they heap to themselves teachers. So based on whatever you feel like you want to do, you want to get back into the club, you want to go back to the concerts, you want to get back into the arenas for the games, for the bread and circuses, so on and so forth. You are now making a decision to get something that will change your life tremendously. It says here, having itching ears. And they shall turn away their ears from the truth and shall be turned unto fables. So instead of enduring sound information, enduring truth, as it pertains to this, many people are listening to lies, fables, false contradictory reports that change every single day. Every day they're changing this thing up as far as what you need to do, what you should do concerning the Jews.
I'm sorry, go ahead. I'm listening.
Yes, sir. Just 2 more scriptures and I'll close out.
Take your time.
2 Timothy 2:5, dealing with informed consent. Okay. 2 Timothy 2, verse number 15. I'm sorry.
And don't forget, Elder Lawyer, the one in Job at the end.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Will do. All right. 2 Timothy 2:15 says, study to show thyself approved unto God, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightfully dividing the word of truth. So we all have a responsibility to study, not only as it pertains to scripture, but when it comes to situations like this, when things are being put in front of us that are now putting us in a position where we have to make a decision that can change our lives, okay, for better or for worse. We must study and know the ins and outs of this thing before we start making decisions. And also, for those of us who know about this, we have to do a good job of being able to express why we're not getting it. You can't tell the doctor or tell people around you that I'm not getting it because I don't want to turn into a zombie. They're going to look at you like you're crazy.
Exactly.
Okay. So you have to express it in such a way in that it actually makes sense. Okay.
Exactly.
So one last scripture, second or Acts the 17th chapter and the 10th verse. It says, and the brethren immediately sent away Paul and Silas by night unto Berea, who coming thither went into the synagogue of the Jews. These were more noble than those in Thessalonica, that and they received the word with all readiness of mind, and searched the scriptures daily, whether those things were so.
Exactly.
So even when brothers were learning from the apostles themselves, we're talking about the same apostles that learned from Christ, directly from Christ. You had those who learned from those same apostles, and they received the information, but they went back and did the research. They did what? They exercised informed consent, if you will.
Exactly.
So when you're dealing with the doctor, you can say, Doc, I respect and I appreciate you explaining the information to me. I'm going to exercise my right to informed consent. I'm going to go back and, do research, whatever. In fact, after you say informed consent, you really don't need to say anything.
Yeah.
But in your mind, you're going back to do your research and what have you so that you can make an informed decision. That action is backed by scripture.
Exactly.
Okay?
Thank you, Elder Lloyd. I'm glad you dropped that because some of our people, like the Bible says, my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. They just don't know what to do when they're met with authority concerning their own rights. They just don't know. They feel that if someone in authority, medical or otherwise, is saying it, it's law, and you're gonna get in trouble if you don't follow it. That's a default thing that happens with us. Automatically, we become fearful. Oh, all right. Or sometimes it's not to be left out or be the odd child out and all that amongst your peers, which is utterly ridiculous. No one, once we come to the age of full adult, peer pressure should have no bearing on our decisions. Peer pressure usually should only work, usually it works as a child. But outside of that, brothers and sisters need to know the verbiage. The verbiage here, in a nutshell, is informed consent. Tell the doctor. Because right there, they'll understand what that word means. And because of this word, they'll have to back off. It used to be I have to get a second opinion. It's the same thing. But you put it in verbiage that they know you understand. I'm not saying no. And that's the mistakes our people make, lawyer. We go off the handle. We start cursing people out. We'll tell them, you ain't taking my child and I've seen this online. No.
Right.
You start, I look at my YouTube, here's GOCC, look at what they're saying. Nah, let them know, listen, I'm not making a decision here. Thank you, doctor, for the recommendation. Now I will exercise my informed consent. They'll know exactly what you're talking about. You're not saying no and being tagged with red somewhere. Okay. You're using informed consent. This way, you can leave the office without what? Your veins getting intruded. Your cells getting intruded. Once I get the data, and I'll make an informed decision for my health. Because at the end of the day, after this decision, the doctor can't help me if something happened to me, right? He's just doing his job. At the end of the day, me and my family are going to have to live with this medical decision. And folks, I know, Elder Lawyer, there was a guy that was working on, doing some work for the church. 30 years old, Elder Lawyer. Strong young man. 30 years old. His trade was building. You know where he at? He took the stuff. Heart attack. 30 years old. Gone. Just like that. Strong young man. Gone. Now, this person wasn't a part of the church, but we know the guy is a strong contractor. There was nothing wrong with the guy. He take the stuff. 3 days later, gone. What's on his birth certificate? I mean, on a death certificate? Yeah. Death certificate states heart attack. But, you know, who knows? It very well could have been. But what caused it, we'll never know. Right? DMX, we'll never know. We know he took it, but we'll never know whether or not, you know, what he took, whether or not that was the cause of it. Job 13:8. Let's read that real quick. Informed consent. See, we had to give y'all some understanding on how to engage and navigate through the serpents. Last scripture of the lawyer. And then, Ramar, you ready to open up the calls?
Yes, sir. Job chapter 13, verse 4.
Come on.
But you're all forgers of lies.
They are what?
You're all forgers of lies.
They're forgers of lies. Come to find out that all these doctors that are behind this had patents out on this same strain and all that. SARS and all that in 2006, 2007. That the patents for all these strains were already created and owned by the same doctors that they're putting in front of you as experts. Saying, yeah, you better get it. You better get it. Because why? You now become their product. You're under their patent now. Hey, be there Sunday. I got all the tapes. I can't show it here. But Fauci and all these guys are behind the patent for this stuff. And I can't show it here, but I will show it Sunday. Go ahead, Elder Lawyer.
But you're all forgers of lies. You're all physicians of no value.
And ye are all, with the lie comes what? A medical procedure. You made a lie, and now you're rolling out the lie using physicians. You are physicians of no value. There's no way if a person that isn't sick, he shouldn't take something and not to get sick. It doesn't even make any scientific sense. It doesn't even make sense. Well, in case I get it, what you mean? So that means there's a chance you may not ever get it, huh? So why did you change your composition again? Why did you allow something to cleave to your cells and multiply again? This is an attack on our immune system. They're taking down all of our defenses physically. But I digress. Ye are physicians of no value, and they forged the lie to bring this forth. And guess what? If the preachers was reading that in the Bible, if they were reading this in the churches, brothers and sisters, obviously, the decisions would be absolutely evident. Okay, I got you. All right, let's go to the calls real quick. Blog Talk Radio. One moment. Let's go here. 1 second. Thank you for holding. A rebellious generation. Okay. A rebellious generation here. Thank you for holding all the guests on Blog Talk. I'm going to pull you in now in 1 moment. Got it. To the studio. 515-605-9327. All right, let's go down the line, starting with 336 area code. Kimberly has a question. Comment and question. How you doing, Kim?
I am doing fantastic. Thank you for taking my call today, Elder. I just want to say that this ministry has really been a blessing to my life. I spoke with you, had the pleasure of speaking with you on last year when you spoke with all the preacher daughters and the preacher's wife. Well, this is the preacher daughter. And I just thank God for this ministry. Earlier this year, I had shared with my parents about not receiving the jab and things. Okay. My mom is very stubborn. So she decided, I knew where her mind was. But the Holy Spirit woke me up on March the 2nd at 4 a.m. I had learned that my father had an appointment scheduled for that very next morning. And the Holy Spirit woke me up. I had tried on the night of the 1st, March 1st, to find that video that you had shared with us at one Bible study where the Italian doctor was explaining everything. And I couldn't find it. And I was like, Lord, just please give me the words to say and just help me, use me so that this will not be an issue. So 4 a.m, I said, just woke up out the blue. And I said, well, I'll wait till about 7 a.m. And the Spirit just kept wrestling with me. I couldn't wait. So I wound up calling at about 4:15 in the morning. And my father, he picked up the phone. He was asleep, obviously. And I just started explaining to him things. I said, I really can't explain it all. I said, but please trust me. And all of a sudden, I'm a very strong person. All of a sudden, I just started crying on the phone. And he was like, Daddy's little girl. He was like, baby, if it means that much to you, I'll cancel my appointment. And I said, Daddy, please, please just trust me on this. So he wound up canceling the appointment, and I thought everything was, good to go until I was able to go to the Dominican earlier this year around, I think I went March the 20th or somewhere around in there. And,
hey, sister, I know you have a question too, so I don't want to, I'm just trying to, if you can get to it so that I can get through the calls, okay?
Oh, okay, well, my question, and I have written to the email address. Well, to sum up the story, I failed in my attempts to try to keep them from getting jabbed. A question was asked to my daughter, I can't wait for the rapture to come. My daughter is 12 years old, and he asked, well, do you believe in the rapture? She said, no, Granddaddy. I could show you the man who came up with that theory. I don't believe in the rapture. So
okay.
I'm very glad that I am able, as a single mama, to try to raise my daughter the best way I know how. I do pray that we do have a Bible study for children that will be coming up, because I'm trying. Our Bible studies are long, and I know that will not hold her attention. So I do pray that, something is in the making. There are cartoons out there, but I always have to go back and reiterate. This particular Bible study sat well with my spirit amongst other Israelite groups out here. This is the truth right here. This is valid. And so I've listened to other ones in the past, and I'm like, no, that's not the Spirit of God. No, that didn't fit right with my spirit. But also, I did send several emails because I'm hoping, I am a member of the Patreon, and I'm hoping that some of those videos and also the materials, the videos that you share during your Bible studies, that they can be listed in the description so we can always go back, if possible, and retrieve those videos when we're out here ministering and trying to get people to come to Christ, and also see what we're talking about. It's almost like it's proof for us it's like our documents proving that what we're trying to portray is really real. So
Okay,
that's all
all
I
right.
have to say.
All right. Well, I'm going to pray for your family, sister. And yes, I'm glad you were able to get through. Hopefully they listen. But it's in the hands of the Most High at this point. And yes, we will be doing some serious work to give you more content and a lot of stuff we can't get on here, and put some of that on Patreon. Okay.
Praise the Most High.
Thank you, sister. Thank you. That's Sister Kim. Thank you for your call. Hold tight. We're going to take another call in one moment. Lydia, you coming up? I know you have a question and comment. Hold tight. But before we do that, let me give y'all the commercial, because yes, the Academy is here. It is here. 1 second. This coming Sunday,
the Bible. Is it hard to understand?
When it comes to reading the Bible, the first thing that comes to mind is the fact that this is the Word of God.
The seals have been broken, and the truth is here.
And when we go throughout the scriptures, when we go throughout extra biblical records, we find that the language that God employed, that He used to create the heavens and the earth, was the Hebrew language.
Christ said, I came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. But yet no one, no religious leader, no religious church out there anywhere can now identify the 12 tribes of Israel. Can we? God is quite simple, but it seems as if man makes understanding Him hard.
What are those mysteries?
The truth of your book and the truth will make you free. The Hebrew and Bible Academy. You're invited.
That's right. You are invited. Go to historytimes.org. Historytimes.org. And what I'll do is I'll put it in the chat so you can all see it there. Historytimes.org. We're going into, that's right, the creation of the universe, portals, the windows between heaven and earth, this coming Sunday. All right, so make sure you're there. We got about 3,000 people in here. It'll be a blessing if you all can enroll. It's $150 for 3 full months. More information in one lesson than you'll have learned all your years in any religious institution, guaranteed. Historytimes.org. Hope to see you all there, brothers and sisters. It's going to be great. This coming Sunday, hey, you don't want to miss the news either. All right. Elder Lawyer is bringing the Hebrew. And then I go into the lesson, Elder Lawyer and I. That's right. The creation of the universe, how all things we see were made. All right. Let's go down the line here. Next call, Lydia. Shalom.
Yes. Shalom. Hello, my name is Lydia, and I have a comment and a question.
Yes.
I would like to say to you, Elder, thank you so much for edifying our people. And yes, we are a rebellious generation. We're hard-headed, and we definitely are stiff-necked. And so, you know, I refuse I like the way Elder
Lawyer.
I love the way he stated the juice, so I'm going to use his word. I refuse the juice as well, you know. And, you know, my doctor called me several times to take it, and I refused. And she asked me why, and I said it's my right, you know. And so I've never heard from them again. So,
Good.
and my
Praise the Most
question
High.
is, yes, my question is that when you put up those that video of those 3 Edomites, my question is, I wonder if they took the juice. I mean, you know, they talked about how bad the protein in the juice is and how dangerous it is. Yeah. But I wonder if they fed that juice to their family. That's my question.
Well, no one will ever know. But I know in these groups, there's a thing called lesser magic, where they're able to do things to the population. Okay. Even unto death, as long as they're out there telling the people out front before it happens. So as long as they put it out there with the threat of what it can do, they feel that they're not liable or to blame when people make a choice to do things ignorantly, because they've been told the dangers. So
right.
It's called lesser magic. They've been told the dangers, but they took the risk anyway. So the risk is on them. I mean, the door has been open for this a long time. Think about
right.
it. How many pharmaceutical commercials out there that it takes half the commercial to run down the side effects after, before the commercial's done. So yeah. they've been doing this for a long time with the lesser magic. They told you, yeah, I'm giving you the potion for this, but here's all the long list of side effects for taking it. So if you take the risk knowing the side effects, who is that on? Is that on them? Even Oz himself, when it came to one of the jabs, Dr. Oz says, listen, right now I'm Dr. Oz before you, but when I go home, I'm dad. And it was another jab. And he says, my wife, I think it was the swine flu thing. He says, my wife makes the decisions on whether or not my kids will take stuff. And when it comes to that, my children don't take that. He said that, look it up on YouTube. Dr. Oz says, listen, I'm a doctor. I'm responsible as far as under regulatory scenarios to state what's right according to the government as far as doctors go. But when I'm home, my decisions are made by my wife, and my wife, she's not going to do it.
Right.
So,
and that's where the consent is so important.
Informed consent, exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you, sister. I appreciate it. Informed consent, right? Folks, I'm gonna tell you, we're in tribulation. This is a tribulation. We're deep in it, and I just pray that brothers and sisters take this time serious before they lock things down again, in preparation for what's to come. Food, water, provisions, and own as much as you can so that no one can kick you out of your property. And store. Get a lot of food, a lot of dry goods, a lot of water. Okay, I'm going to be going into more of that this coming Saturday and Sunday, but prepare. Last year it came out of nowhere, right? I see what the news is doing right now. They scaring everyone right now and talking about a variant and all this other crap. Hey, they may pull the plug again. Be prepared when it happens. 352 area code. Matter of fact, 610 Chad. Chad, how you doing, Chad?
Hey, Elder, you can hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. The time's yours.
It's Ted, not Chad. T-E-D.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. It says Chad there. Ramar probably typed it in wrong.
No, it's cool. It's okay.
Go ahead, Ted.
I was just calling in. I was just, I'm saying thank you again. I've been looking up to you for a while. I spoke to you, I think, week before last.
Okay.
I'm still waiting on a call from the church. I'm in the area close to Philadelphia. I did speak to brother, I think it's Jeremiah before, so he'll probably remember me. But I think I got the information wrong because when I was supposed to meet up, I had got the time and it said 11 p.m. But I'm assuming that it was a.m. So, but I never remembered to address it because I was at work and I was delivering. So when I got off, I never addressed the message and I woke up the Sabbath late.
But are you, brother? But are you calling on a topic? Because I like to keep things on the topic here.
Oh, yeah. I was just reminding you to give me a call so I can get joined in with the church. Also, on top of the topic, I was just going to ask you. I live with my brother and my mom, but it's my house. You know, everybody is kind of on the same page as far as, you know, not getting the vaccine and stuff like that.
Hey, brother,
but
stop using that word, the juice.
Oh, my fault. I forgot. But the juice, you know, I'm the only one that's really attending the church, you know, and going as far as paying attention to what you're saying, you know, about more so getting ready and stuff like that.
What's the question, brother? What's the question?
What advice do you have as far as getting my family that lives with me, you know, on the same page that I am, which is the reason why I'm trying to get within the church so, you know, I can be that example for them to follow.
You're the example. You can't get them to follow with you on the outside. So the initial step that you're taking is what you can do. Okay? The road is so narrow. There's fire on one side, water on the other side, and the road is so narrow that only one person can walk on that road at a time. You can't bring your mother, father, sister, cousin. It doesn't matter who lives in your house. You got to take that step. And by example, if it be the Most High will, if they want it, they'll follow. But it first starts with you taking the steps. And I gave Amath your number. He'll call you. You take the step and pray, and then usually, if it be the Most High will, they'll follow. Or they may not follow. But it's up to you. You must take the first step, okay?
I got you. And what you're saying about the generation, too, like, is on point. I speak to friends a lot, you know, and I'm surprised.
I gotta get to the next call. You had 3 separate things, and I got a long list. All right. So I'm gonna have. It's good. So I'm gonna have Bishop Amath call you. Okay.
All right. Thanks a lot, man. I appreciate it.
Okay.
Shalom.
Yeah. Shalom. I'm sorry, but we have a long list of people here. Okay. And you took up a lot of time. You took up a lot of time asking me what you asked me the last time you called. So, you know, so it's good to come in on topic, and then if there's space, you can repeat something you said before. Okay.
Got you.
All right. Thank you. All right. That's Brother Ted. Brother Ralph. Please try to keep it within the topic if we can, brothers and sisters. 352.
Yes. All praise to AHAYAH, Yeshaya Wawa. How you doing, Elder Ricard, Elder Yurok, and Lawyer, and all the other elders that's on the line?
Bless you. How are
everything
you?
That you, I'm doing great. I'm doing great this evening. Well, my comment is this, Elder. Real close friend of mine, about 3 months ago, had a stroke.
Okay. Sorry to hear that.
I guess he touched the juice. A family man, hardworking man. You know, close to his 50s now. I'm older than him, but anyway, his wife called me yesterday. He had a heart attack in his sleep. Okay, she's preparing for a funeral now. Needing me to speak at the funeral. Yeah. Okay, and you know, I've gone over this information with all of my family, friends, trying to inform them with the information that you're giving, trying to keep them abreast with the things that's going on in this world and the lies that's being dictated during these commercials and on this television, and trying to actually tell them to stay away from the television. But it's all to no avail. And my wife get a call 2 days ago from Jacksonville. Her cousin is in the hospital. They done put her on a ventilator. Now they say she's brain dead, and she's looking to go to a funeral in another week because now they're holding her up on the ventilator so that they can pass out her organs. Okay, I mean, which is just ludicrous to me.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so I just I say that to say, you know, when I come to them with the truth, and I try and explain things to them, and they come back with something else, I tell them, Romans 1:25, who changed the truth of God into a lie and worship and serve the creature? Why would we listen to what these people are saying as opposed to God? We'll worship the creature more than the Most High, who is blessed forever. Amen.
Well, brother, let me ask you this, because I got to get to the next call.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Indeed.
Let me ask you this. Does any of them see a tie between their decision and these deaths now?
Well,
or they just totally oblivious?
I believe they're truly oblivious to what's going on, because there are more tied in the world. Now, there are some that are gravitating to what's being said.
No, listen what I'm asking you. Brother, listen what I'm asking you. Just strictly off of what just happened before you segue.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody's dead. Usually when someone die in my family, I try to connect dots to figure out how it happened. Before you go other places, are they tying these deaths with those decisions they made?
No, they have not, Elder. And to be honest, the opportunity for me to even elaborate on it
hey, brother,
has not presented it.
Listen.
No.
The whole
answer
thing
is no.
Brother, there's no elaborating anymore. All due respect, and I'm saying it straight out in support of you. Once the trumpet is blown, like I've read it, and the watchmen have blown the trumpet, and if they don't listen, the blood is on them. Unfortunately, it's sad, and I say it. All of us, we're gonna have to prepare. We're gonna have to prepare ourselves for a hard road coming with death falling left and right of us. Not just with people we know, people in our own homes, people we love, people that's close. Here's the time we're living in. Here's the tribulation. But brother, thank you, and they'll
looking forward to the next Academy, Elder, as well.
Well, thank you, brother.
6-1.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Hey, we ready too.
Sir.
Sunday. Hey, Sunday. We bringing it Sunday, my man. So wait, there's some new details we want to go into with creation. Never been taught. Be there. All right. Thank you, brother.
I'll be there. All right.
Brother Ralph. Bless you. It's a shame. I wanted to get right to it because he was able to put 2 and 2 together, but I needed to ask, are these people oblivious? Did they even inquire, to why to why the people who decided to do this are now dead? Did they even inquire, ask the doctor, could it have been? These people are oblivious, man. So if you're dead and you took this to protect yourself, what difference would it have made if you didn't do it if you're dead? It's like, what good was it if they took it and it's not a cold or COVID they have to worry about? They're dead. So what good was taking it then? People are oblivious. 310 area code. We're here. How you doing? Shakira, how are you? You have a question?
I'm doing well, thank you. I definitely do. I have 2 questions. One is for you, and the other, if Ramar could pick up the line so that I can inquire to him directly privately, I would appreciate. But the question that I have for you is pretty mild, but it is slightly in line with the forgers of lies. And this is something that you probably know, maybe even covered at some point in time, but I just uncovered it for myself. And it's just kind of bothering me, even though, again, it's mild. But we've been told for all of our lives, and most of everybody I know that there's the 10 Commandments, quote unquote, the 10 Commandments. And when I go to, Deuteronomy 5, where the 10 Commandments are listed, and Exodus 20, where the 10 Commandments are listed, I notice in Deuteronomy 5, it's actually 11 commandments, and Exodus 20, it's 12 commandments. And I've gone through this and highlighted it and counted it over and over and over again. And why would they lie about something so basic? And I know this is a really mild, ridiculous question, but it's just been bothering me. And I've been trying to call in for over a month now just to ask if you know and why.
Well, sister, here's my advice to you, right? There's 10 commandments that's in Exodus 20, right? You got that?
Yeah. Well, no, in Exodus 20, there's 12.
Okay.
And in Deuteronomy, there's 11.
Okay. Well, the best thing to do is just to follow the 11. No sense in dealing in red herrings and things that really genders debate for no reason. If there's I'm saying listen. If you see 11 there, follow 11. If you go to another chapter and you see 12, follow 12. We too late in the game right now.
Absolutely. It was a mild question.
All right. So what's okay?
And if Ramar could pick up, I would appreciate that.
No. Ramar's not going to pick up. I'm conducting this.
Oh, no. I wanted to ask him something privately and meant to, but he clicked off too quick in the midst when he asked me about my name and stuff. So I didn't get a chance to.
Well, are you in the church in California?
I have been in the past, back in 2011.
Okay, well, I'll have Elder Yarack reach you because he's over the California area. Okay?
Oh, okay. Well, if anybody, I just want to speak to somebody,
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see here. Let me write your number down here. I'm going to give it to you, okay? You're out. And the Bible says, sister, with all thy getting, get understanding. All right. And I'm going to tell you, there's 10. But the whole deal is it goes in depth when it says, have no other God before you. Then it goes into examples of that. That don't mean it's two separate commandments. It's still you serving something else other than God. So it's still just one commandment. But don't worry about it. We'll straighten it out for you. There's 10. But just for the sake of you actually doing what's right by the Most High, if you believe there's 11 or 12, follow what you see. That's all that matters. Okay. Let me see. Her name is Shakira. Okay. Listen to the teachers, and what you don't have understanding with, it's okay. Let patience work its perfect work. Here you go. That's her number. Call her. Okay. Thank you, Shakira. Bless you.
Can I get an estimation? Is this something I should expect today or just sometime in the future?
You want to call her tomorrow? Your rock say he'll call you in the near future. All right. Okay. He's tired. He was working all day. Bless you. Hey, she want that call and she want that call now. Don't worry about it. We'll get to you, Shakira. Don't worry about it. It's okay. 404 area code.
Hi, Elder Ricard. How are you?
I'm blessed by the best. How you doing, Victoria? How are you?
Yes, I'm doing fine. The reason why I called today is because I had a comment and possibly a quick question. But the comment is I'm a senior in nursing. I'm in a nursing program to get my BSN, and I'm a senior. And I also work at the school that I go to, and I work at the hospital. And what I'm noticing is it's a lot of double speak around the jab. At my school, they're kind of like forcing us to get the jab, whereas at my job, it's not really being enforced. It's up to you if you do it or if you don't. But it's crazy because at my school, they're saying you can't do clinicals at this particular hospital, which happened to be my job, unless you get the jab. So it's just really interesting how they're doing things. Do you have any advice for college students that's in that?
Okay, that's great. That's great. It's like this. I told everyone when this first started that it wasn't about the code. It was really about them doing what they're doing now. It was always about them rolling this stuff out. Okay, that's what the whole campaign is about. But exercise your informed consent. Let them know I'm right now. It's still under under emergency experiment, and because of that, I must exercise my informed consent. Just let them know that. So, and listen, and don't say it publicly. Don't try to make a fuss with it. You say it privately, quietly to them.
Right.
Now, the way you go about it, right? Because the Supreme Court, the employers already won in the Supreme Court where they cannot force employees to get this. Why? Because if something goes wrong, liability falls on the employers. So the employers came together and realized there would be a much litigation. So the Supreme Court of Judge have ruled that your employers can suggest, but they cannot force someone to get it under the threat of losing their job. So that was a win. That's a win. But there was one state, I forgot the state through the Supreme Court, who just ruled one school or in one state that the colleges, that college in specific in that state, can make it mandatory for their students as a prerequisite.
Yeah, prerequisite.
What state was that?
It's here in Georgia. That's Morehouse College.
Exactly. So there was one state that they try to say that, okay, they were able to rule it, and they're going to rule it where there's predominantly black colleges also. So I would still stick with the informed consent. Okay. I would stick with that. All right. But what you really have to worry about, because a lot of these people, not you, a lot of these people, young men and women in these colleges, are loose with their emotions, and I'm gonna put that lightly. They done with free love and just sleeping with whoever they would want to in these frat parties and all that. Well, hey, if someone take that stuff and they deal with another person, those cells multiply. So it's going to come a time where, believe it or not, the safest place to be is separated from them. But that time will evolve by itself. We're coming there. We're almost there. So be prepared. At the end of the day, all of us, be prepared to be separated from them, because they're going to separate us from them. Prepare yourself.
Right.
But right now, informed consent works. How long it's going to work, we'll see. But right now it works. All right?
Right. So they do allow me to use a religious exemption. This one is even more in depth than the one for the flu vaccine. The one for the flu vaccine is just a signature.
Don't use that word.
This one is like...
Say jab or something, because the algorithms will drive the satanic bots this way. All right?
Yes,
so,
sir.
No.
I'm sorry about that.
Yeah. Sir. Use your religious exemptions as well as your informed consent. Understand, and never forget this. It's still labeled under an emergency as an experimental jab. It would not have been approved, or neither has it been approved by the FDA under normal circumstances. Okay? So know your rights, informed consent, stick with the Most High. When it comes to healing, that's God's work. That's Christ's work. We don't look to them for that. Okay?
Right.
All right, bless you, and do not break under duress or pressure.
Of course not. I'll walk away before I do.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Bye.
Shalom. I'm going to place you on hold. All right. We have Johnny 225 area code. How you doing, John?
I'm doing fine. Shalom, Elder.
Johnny, a girl. I'm sorry. Sister. I'm sorry.
a girl. Yes, sir. That's okay. I was named after my daddy.
All right.
First of all, I just want to, thank you guys. Like you, Elder, you are dropping knowledge like big time, and I thank you for it.
Praise
I thank
the Most
you.
High. Praise the Most High. Are you in that
I
academy?
Can't wait for I am. I signed up for the academy. Yes,
all
sir.
right, now.
This will be my first one. So I'm excited. So I wanted to say, this wasn't my original comment, but the sister that just hung up,
yeah.
I don't know if she knows, but the HBCUs that have medical schools, they have received like $6 million in funding to promote the juice.
Yeah.
So that's why that sister is going through that. So she might want to look that up.
Okay.
But that's why they're promoting it. But I also wanted to say, to stick on topic, the stiff-necked and rebellious, our people, we are just so hard-headed. Like, we will listen to whatever these experts say. We don't question anything. We don't do any research. And Kamala Harris, she said that she believes that getting the juice was the very essence of loving thy neighbor. And when I heard her say that, I said, now that is some crafty counsel. And everybody was just clapping for her, and but that's not what that is, because if she read her Bible, she would know, but then, she's in on it. The other thing that I wanted to say that I thought was interesting is that the Bible tells us that the mark of the beast is the same number as man, 666. And I was looking at, there's 6 protons, 6 neutrons, 6 electrons. And the carbon-12 is, is what makes up, or the protons, neutrons, and electrons are what makes up the carbon-12, which is part of DNA.
Yeah.
And so then when you think about DNA, you think about this juice that they're trying to give us that you explained off the chain for Sabbath, but with this luciferin and luciferase.
It's luciferase.
Okay, so when I was reading it, it actually had 2. One of them, the luciferase, is pronounced like when you read it phonetically, it's luciferase, like a race of what?
Yeah.
But when you look at it, it includes the words Lucifer and erase. So I'm like, what is Lucifer erasing?
What he's
like,
erasing?
What is he erasing?
What is he erasing? It's the God gene. We showed that under there was a Pentagon presentation where there was a guy in early 2005 was fixing people who had that issue with connecting with God or prayer or belief outside of this world. They feel that it's a defect. So to fix that defect, they will erase that connection with the Most High and link you with Lucifer.
Wow. I just thought that was interesting when you told us about that. I'm like, okay, now this is going to be the new Walking Dead. But the other thing is...
Well, sister, before you say that, this is why I asked the brother, did these people who urged their family members to take this stuff who are now dead, did they tie 2 and 2 together? And he said, no, they're oblivious. See, but that's one of the effects.
They have to be.
Yeah, but that's one of the effects of them taking it.
Right.
Something was shut off upstairs. When you take this stuff, what do they say? When you take it, you get migraines, headaches. Your brain is under attack. They're attacking the God gene. So this is why these people are walking around oblivious. Oh, yeah, I guess you did. I'll bury you. The funeral tomorrow. All right. Totally oblivious. As if they didn't have a hand in nudging their loved ones into that light. But go ahead. You have the last word.
Last thing. The last thing is that going back to not asking enough questions, we've had these codes for years. We've had the common cold, the flu. We've had swine flu, Ebola, even HIV, MERS. And when this first came out, I remembered SARS. And it was in China. So I said, oh, well, the World Health Organization, they'll shut this down. And they didn't. And they allowed this so-called cold to just spread. And I'm like, why are they not seeing how all these different colds came out and they magically disappeared and we didn't get any juice then? And I don't know. It's just, that's all I have to say. But I also noticed that they target us. They target us with HIV. They targeted us with Ebola. They targeting us with now. They always want to go to Africa when there's an outbreak. But nobody can see this. Yeah. So I guess you're right. Well, if it's meant for us to see it, I guess we will. And if it's not, I guess we won't.
Blessed are your eyes that you see and your ears that you hear, sister. The people that's out there that's doing this, they, guess what? They don't want to see. They don't want to hear. And they're walking they're walking blind right off a mountain. Thank you, sister.
They don't want to let the world go. Thank you, brother. Thank you, Elder.
But I tell you what, the world is about to let them go. I tell you that. I'm going to put you on hold.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, let me place you on hold.
I'm fine with the world.
I'm sorry about that, but I'm sorry, sister. You know what I mean? They're going to vax that thing up. I'm going to show you real quick. I'm going to show you, brothers and sisters. Instead of vaxing that thing up, this is what people. This is how videos should be. This is our videos. This is what it should be, right? This is Brother Quadam and the crew in Houston. Then I'll finish taking the calls. 1 second. This is how videos should people be vaccinate their thing up? Huh? Whatever that is. Oh my God. Somebody's laughing at us. But take a picture. Brother Quadam. Deacon Quadam. Let's go. Let's go.
All praise AHAYAH. You know what I'm saying? This has been Here Am I. Indie Nation 103 on the way. You know what I'm talking about?
ORIGNAL.
Thanks for vibing with me. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate the support, man. We gonna get the kingdom. Look, I'm about to lose it. No need for condolences. He say you think you holy, huh? I respond, thanks for noticing. Focusing on the unseen like I'm on opiates. Copious faith, morphine to satiate hopelessness. Hit it. Hold it in, come journey in the spirit. We walking in the valley, we don't fear it. We above degraders, haters, we don't hear them. They showing that they babes, give them milk and some bibs. Being patience till it's nice, they don't know what hit them. But that scripture trying to cause you to remember. Royal people, royal standards, learning men, don't forget them. She say she can't remember, write them down and take a picture. Point it out when they wrong and they go to pointing fingers. Say you think you holier than now with all the fringes. I say I just want you saved, home, boy, the world is ending. No one wrote about it in the scripture, so you get the picture. What up, blood? What up, cuz? Yeah, thug, I remember. Application, nationality, I wrote down repenter. Holy nation, chosen people, and they say they can't remember. Get them scripts, work your wrist, write it down and take a picture. Have a line, falling, whoa, there you go, take a picture. Remember, ever being free, just read it in the scripture. Ever change and be saved, they say you can save the scripture. She just seen us standing over here and came to take a picture. Is you listening? Be different. The word in it. And we Israel, holy nation, chosen people. Man, they say they can't remember. Flip them scripts, work your wrist, write it down and take a picture. I ain't blow no trees and bunch of of years and a bunch of days. The principalities, we cast them down like some broken legs. Can't stop doing what he say like a broke game of Simon Say. Converting killers that used to flip more chickens than Chick-fil-A. I was jacking and robbing, but now they be so confused. Cause when they see me out mobbing, I'm steady dropping them jewels. Like, yeah, we the Jews. And yeah, that come with rules. And yeah, if you don't do them, then yeah, you gon' burn. Ooh, that's lethal. His body is the word, and we eatin', studying like nerds. Ain't go feed them, and they geeking. This world evil, they arrest us just for speaking. And I'm white with the brethren, just in that they feeling threatened. Say she go to church, but only on Easter. I'm like, man, SMH, LOL, bye Felicia. She asked me why should she change and live according to scripture. I say cause everything we do, the angels writing, take pictures, and we Israel. What up, blood? What up, cuz? Yeah, thug, I remember. Application, nationality, I wrote down repenter. Holy nation, chosen people, and they say they can't remember. Get them scripts, work your wrist, write it down and take a picture. Have a line, falling, whoa, there you go, take a picture. Don't remember ever being free, just read it in the scripture. Heavens change and be saved, they say you can save the scripture. She just seen us standing over here and came to take a picture. Is you listening? Be different, the world in it. And we Israel, holy nation, chosen people. Man, they say they can't remember. Flip them scripts, work your wrist, write it down and take a picture.
Remember that. Remember it. Write it down. Take a picture.
Introductory note and chapter 1.
Nah, we ain't gonna do that. No, we're not. Nah. We're not doing that no more. It's over. It's over for y'all. Take a picture. There you go, Deacon Quadam. Oh man, this brother he been in this war a long time. Take a picture. Let's go down the line. A few more calls. Let's see. I see Sunshine. I see you there. I ain't forget you. I'm bringing you in. 904 area code. And let me type in. Here's the video if you all would like to support that video. Deacon Quadam, take a picture and make sure you go to historytimes.org and get in that Hebrew and Bible Academy. Okay, you're live. 904.
Hello?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, you're live.
Hi, Elder. All praises. Hi, all praises. I just wanted to comment on the rebellious generation.
Okay.
Recently, I saw, I was in the grocery store, and I couldn't believe what I saw. I saw a major magazine with the picture of a witch on the cover. And I said to myself when I saw it, I was like, oh my gosh, I wonder if the elder knows about this. But I couldn't believe it because in my time, I would never see that, and from my generation. And I grew up like in the 60s, 70s, and we never saw anything like that ever before. So It just shocked me, but at the same time it didn't. And another thing too about the jab, I'm getting calls on my phone to make an appointment to get it, and I was like the nerve, So that's all I had to say tonight. I just wanted to comment on that.
They pressing sisters hard because they know right now, it's really sisters who's running the black community. So they pressing sisters hard, and they know that sisters really have the say in their homes. All right.
Exactly.
Even if the man is there, sisters have strong say when it comes to the babies. So they always talk. Even when women have babies in the hospital, they act as if the husband or the man isn't there. They talking to her. Well, it's your body, right? And he'll walk out and say, well, no, I don't want y'all. They be like, nix you. We're gonna focus on her. They act as if brothers don't even exist. And see, this is why they're focusing, because they set it up this way. So that because women inherently, and there's nothing wrong with that, usually make decisions strictly majority off of emotion.
Exactly.
So it's not wrong. The Most High says, give honor to the woman as the weaker vessel. The weaker vessel is its emotion first. So if they can get you stirred up in your emotions, what they can get you to make a decision.
Exactly.
Before you've actually digressed to examine things logically. But I know there's a delay here, but go on.
Oh, exactly. And recently, my daughter showed me a video of what our people are worrying about right now instead of the jab. Is what Karens are doing. I don't know if you've seen these videos about the Karen and Victoria's Secret. And the generation is just worried about things that just absolutely makes no sense.
Okay.
Instead of worrying about what's going on with our the Most High, what He's trying to tell us.
Yeah. And no one's listening.
Yeah.
No one's listening, sister. But you know what? Blessed are your eyes that you see and ears you hear. And I'm glad you all are looking, that you all are listening and doing what? Putting this information into action. It means nothing if you're not preparing your home for what's to come. And that's what it comes down to. These are just everything we're saying is, listen, they can be empty words if brothers and sisters don't apply it to know that the next time they move this thing, it's not going to be a test run like it was in 2020. They coming for keeps this time.
I believe that.
All right, they coming for keeps.
I believe that.
And what they're going to do?
I'm
going to place you on hold, sister. What they're going to do? They're coming after what? The finances. This is how they do it. They're going to cut jobs off and make people, they're going to make it where you must comply or get out on your own. This is the next phase. The stimulus is the only thing that kept our people from not just going buck wild. But this time, because they see a lot of pushback is coming back from us. They're not saying it, but what they're saying is there's certain groups, that are denying that hasn't did it yet. They keep on using these ambiguous terms, talking about certain groups. No, you're talking about black people. You're talking about black people. When they say certain groups, why can't you specify what groups that they are? Why can't you? So yeah. No, we're not going for it. Talking about certain people that still haven't done it. What are you talking about? Certain people still haven't done it. Don't they have a choice not to? 816 area code.
People.
816.
You're talking about black people. When they say certain.
All right. I got to come back to you because something is playing in the background. Let's go to, and I'm going to have to lay down soon because I am tired. All right. 240 area code. 240.
Shalom, sir. Can you hear me?
Shalom. We're living with a rebellious generation, right? Come on, talk to us.
We certainly are. I don't know if you've ever heard of Kevin Samuels, but I heard I was on his live yesterday, and he always caters to a bunch of women that are around my age. I'm a millennial child, so I'm in my 30s, and they are our people. I'm sorry. Our people are completely unapologetic. They have no accountability. And when you try to talk sense to them, it's like they really do not hear and they really do not see. And it's quite frustrating and heartbreaking. You pray for these people and you bring knowledge to them, but they choose to continue to be hard-headed. And it's just quite depressing and heart-wrenching. But I did want to comment more on the Jim Jones juice.
Okay.
I'm not going to say what I work for or where I work because it is sensitive information or who I am. But The government just approved approximately over 500 plus applications in regards to the bringing the Jews door to door, and a lot of and bringing them to what they wanted to refer to them in the applications as socio-economically challenged areas. And they, in some of the applications, they refer to doing door-to-door and making them more accessible for clinics and colleges and hospitals and things like that. And they did not review these. They did what is called a peer review, where they, just reviewed them individually. They did not discuss them. They did not shoot them down. They sent them straight to the government, so they will get funding regardless of what is in these applications, regardless of what is being said or what is ethical or what is not. So I just kind of wanted to put that out there, that they gave out, billions of dollars in funding to bring this medical procedure to our front doors and be able to, produce more of this Jim Jones juice for everybody to partake in it.
Yeah. Well, sister, you brought some good points. The first thing is, I have a certain perspective. Usually, when something is operating on one side unbalanced, usually things come around to try to level things out. So when it comes to Kevin Samuels, he's not a prophet or nothing, but I think he's the answer in pushing back to feminism. That's all. It's like these women are pushing without resistance, and now something is happening where man is pushing back. But the bottom line is, it's one thing I do agree with, and I think it'll make us all better if we marry before carrying. That's one point. How he goes about his business and all that, that's one thing, but I believe that he's the answer. He's not the answer, but his response, which is a better word, is the answer to what feminism has been doing. And it's a cataclysm. But all in all, maybe it will lead to more conversations, understanding that we need one another. And I'll be going into that in the academy. It's about the fact remains we have to rally together as a family, stop arguing, because the enemy is literally, like you just said, at the door. You can't have something as destructive as feminism not be met with something eventually. And that's all that is. But either of that, either side of that isn't the primary focus. We're at the end of the world. Okay, I wish we would have had these conversations 15, 20 years ago, to be honest with you. But we need to get on code real quick, circle the wagons, and get Israel to the safe place. All right. Thank you, sister. Great call.
Yes. The water elder. Shalom.
All right. Yeah, shalom. And I have to say this. It really comes down to sisters standing up and realizing that some of these people out there are misrepresenting sisters. It really should be the sisters out there, not Kevin Samuels, saying, listen, these people are destroying my image as an Israelite. I don't see no one getting up in arms with all these twerk videos and all this stuff where women are talking about WAP and all this old stuff. And it seems as if they'll come against someone who's really trying to say, listen, all of that stuff comes with a price. Okay. Really, it shouldn't be him. It should be sisters standing up saying, never again, no more. We putting an end to this. It shouldn't be Kevin Samuels. It should be sisters. Let's see. 763.
Shalom, Elder.
Shalom, how are you?
All right. Oh man, I've been trying to I've been listening to you for the last 7 years. I was going to say this, and I've been just learning and just going with everything and just kind of been aware of everything that's been going on. A couple things I like to say. Thank you for being a shepherd, being a leader, being just that voice that we've been looking for. And all praises to you and other lawyer. I love you guys. It's like it's crazy because I've been trying to. I got baptized with the GOCC, Minnesota. Me and my son, and just looking forward to doing more work with you, with the church and with you guys. First and foremost, I like to say, the people that's woke is woke, and the people that sleep, they sleep. It's like they're not gonna wake up, and it's like no matter how much you try to get the ones to wake up, they're gonna some way somehow fall back into that sleep. And I try to keep my people informed, to try to keep my family close to me informed, and I don't want to keep casting pearls to swine. So I kind of just like fall back a little bit off a couple of people and let them just see for themselves. When I woke up, I was in fear when I first woke up, but then I started getting strength, courage, listening to you and following you and the Bible and the scriptures. And I was like, you know what? I'm not afraid of this no more. I have no fear of me. Only thing I'm fearing is the Most High. And man, it's all praises. The second thing I want to say is that I was at the Passover this past
praise the Most
March.
High.
And and I seen you there, and I was like, okay, I wanted to talk to you, but I was like, okay, there's a lot going on. There was so much energy in the air. I was like, I was just happy to be there.
Man, you could have talked with me, man. I'm your brother. I gotta just It's like anyone else. Just say, hey, Elder, what's up? Talk to me. Yeah, I had a good time. Talk with my brothers and sisters, man.
Yes,
anytime, man. Anytime. So next time I see you, just let me know. It's me. Let's talk. Let's rap. Let's chop it up, as y'all say.
All right. Just so you know, my name is Brother Uriah.
Okay, Uriah. Okay.
I'm from the Minnesota body.
Okay.
And my last thing I want to say is that I do music, and I want to be a part of the music message and what's going on with the music with a purpose.
Let me get your name again.
Uriah.
Uriah.
Uria.
I need to write it down. One moment. Uriah Music. Okay, yeah. All right. I'm gonna call you up and see what we can do. Okay.
I got some really good material that I would like to present to the body and present to music with a purpose.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay.
All right. Bless you, my brother.
Other than that, man, Tawada, it's been a pleasure talking to you. I hope to see you soon.
Okay. Bless you.
All right.
Shalom. There's another brother that's going to be on the GOCC network. He actually has options where, especially, there's some people, and we're probably going to look at it within the church first, where if they are segued off jobs, there's ways that you can actually work remote at home and make money, because he has a business where it's telephone, as long as you have a telephone in your home and internet. So we're going to talk about that. He's going to come on one day and give brothers and sisters an option. Now, it's not my business, it's his business, but he said, Elder, this is definitely a way where brothers and sisters can have some type of job, segueing off of the corporations where, that can work with him, international calling or whatever the case is. So I'm going to bring him in one day to let brothers and sisters know there are alternatives, when it comes to working for yourself and or working with the brother outside of the system. And I'm going to talk to him about that. And I'm going to bring him on one day. He's going to tell you what that is. It's not my business, it's his, but he says, listen, he think he can give some employment to a lot of brothers and sisters. I had the phone call him or call him up, and I'm going to bring him on, and that can be a viable option that can sustain some people. Okay, while we're going through this transition right now. So I'll be talking more about that soon. Bonnie, Bonnie has a comment and a question. Yes.
Yes, Shalom, Elder. Can you hear me good?
Yes, I can hear you, Bonnie. How are you?
Okay. Oh, I'm blessed. I have two things that I have recently found out. Well, one is everybody's thinking that it is starting out that things are going wrong when they take the jab, the Jim Jones juice. That's not true. It's starting out when they go and get the swab. They put it in your nasal cavity, and in the back of your nasal cavity, there's a soft, spongy bone tissue that swab touches. And on the tip of those swabs, there's many people that have looked on the microscope, and when you heat them, there's little things that look like worms.
We've seen that. I look at that. We see that in the academy. It's like these little membranes, these little wires moving, these living organisms on the tip of I've seen that under a microscope. But go on.
Yes. And that's where it's starting from, going into your brain.
Yeah.
Now, when that's what starts it. Now, what is preceding that is I found this on factcheck.org. Now, a lot of people are under the misconception that Moderna was FDA approved.
Oh,
it was
sister,
not.
Sister, but we can't be going too far into names and all those things because of the algorithm.
I apologize.
Because if you notice, even with those doctors and experts was talking from the clip I showed you, they were very guarded. It was very guarded, not giving names, because names are brands, and because of those names and brands, they're protected by YouTube.
Okay.
But just give it to us in a nutshell, though. Give it to us in a nutshell.
The MJAB. They had 30,000 volunteers, which is what the Independent Data and Safety Monitoring Board went by to get the FDA,
it's an experiment.
Approve it. Yes. Now, they went also to another independent group, which is called the Centers for Disease Control Prevention Advisory Committee on Immunization Practices, and they also gave the okay. Now, what is in it is a SM-102, which is a harmful compound that they use in that, and it's a deadly ingredient, which is, I'm reading it right now as I'm telling you.
Sister, don't read it. Just sum it up. The stuff is bad.
Chloroform.
It's poisonous.
Chloroform is what it is that's in it. Chloroform.
Okay.
And when you were talking about saying that the things that it does to you, it is causing people to have change in your compound. People can put a blue light on them and see where they have took the jab. They're glowing, and in their hands they're glowing.
Well, thank you, sister.
It is causing you to have cancer, and your immunization, your immune system is breaking down. You're coming out with a lot of different things. So it's more to it than what's said. But one of the main things that I wanted to let you know is this.
These are a lot of things, sister. These are a lot of things that we've covered in detail, like throughout the year. Is there something in particular? Because I've covered all that.
This is what I'm going to come to. Is all coming around to this. Come August 11th, you know how they do the EBS and the WBS alert system?
Yeah.
Well, when they go to do that, a lot of stuff is getting ready to get shut down. And you know how people automatically pick up their phone and click their phone off to turn that off? Well, when you're thinking you're turning it off, you're clicking that button. What it is doing is capturing your picture, and it'll capture your voice. It'll trigger for the speaker, the microphone, everything to come on, even on your TV, your computers, your cell phones, all of that. They're capturing the information.
Well,
so anybody that has not took that jab, and when all of your information is stored into your phone, they will find out who you are, and they can cross-reference all of that information. That's how they're going to be coming to your house.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll cross that road when we get to it, won't we? It's something that, you know, but we'll cross that when we get to it, and it's called private property.
You
All right.
don't have to answer the door when they
Well,
come.
just listen. The people can do. Listen, it's a free country. People can be free to walk on all the public property they would like. Thank you. All right, I'm gonna place you on hold.
And also, you can
I got to place you on hold.
Okay.
We got to get to the next call. All right.
Muted.
All right.
All right. Let's get to the next call here.
Unmuted.
All right. Mavis has a question. Great call. That was a great call. Mavis.
Hello, sir.
Mavis, how are
Hi,
you?
Elder. I'm doing great. Thank you so much. Bless you and Elder Lawyer. I was calling in, and my question to you is, I'm here in South Carolina, and I would like to get baptized. And I have not been able to get in contact with anyone.
Okay, do you have anything on the topic or just that?
Well, the topic about the rebelliousness, I see it all around me every day. And the children are being very rebellious. If you look around, even if you go into the supermarket, you'll see children telling their parents off. They have absolutely no respect for the elderly, and they're just very rebellious. And even with some of my family that I have, I would try to explain to them some things, and they will not listen.
Yeah.
They think, oh, Mom, you don't know what she's talking about.
Okay, let me ask you real
quick.
quick.
Know what she's talking.
Mavis, are you in the academy?
I have not joined the academy yet.
Okay, all right. Well,
I haven't had the finances to join it yet.
Okay, so we'll talk to you about that. Let me. I have your number here. I'm gonna give it to the lawyer. He'll give you a call. Okay.
Yes. Thank you so much. I do appreciate y'all. Bless you so much. Thank you.
Bless you. All right. 910 area code. Yoel.
Shalom, Elder. Shalom.
Shalom. How are you?
Yeah, of course, Joel Yashua. It's an honor to speak to you again for the second time. So I'm really happy. I have a comment on topic and just a quick question about a song that I've been looking for years, and I've really got you here, so I got to ask you what it is, and I believe it's you singing. But let me. I just want to thank you on topic. Make my comment on topic. I want to thank you guys for all the work, and I mean like hard work that you guys do, and bringing out and really exposing this coronavirus thing. Because us in the truth, we already know, you know, we're not going to take that jab. We don't care. You don't have to. You don't give me the science behind it. Don't try to trick me and tell me this and that about it. But y'all bring out the article references, the news articles, stuff that we, you know, we're not actively looking for.
Yeah.
So I appreciate all of that. And now, and one other thing that I did want to bring up, like, did you hear about the people that are passing from the Jim Jones juice?
Absolutely.
I heard they are literally turning their bodies into what they call in biosludge and spraying it on food crops.
Well,
so I just thought that was crazy.
Bro, I already talked about it. I don't know when you came in, but we're going to be going into that. I don't want to put too much out on that right now because of whatever. But I can say this though: the numbers are being hit as far as the people who is actually going into the light. Upward about over 50,000 people that's not being reported through mainstream.
Wow.
that have crossed over. All right, so, but
okay, and
I can't.
Now I'm getting back on.
I'm really on the line at this point. I'm really, what I'm saying is I'm really up against what I can say and what I can't say right now. But
understood. I got you, Elder. And that was just
one more
quick
point.
Comment I wanted to make on that.
Quick comment, and then I got to go to the next call.
Yeah, quick question. What is the name of this song? I've been looking for it for years. I'm about to play it real quick. It's from one of y'all videos years ago. What's the name of it, and where can I find it?
Okay, I got it.
Okay.
It's called Brotherly Love.
And where can I find it?
You can find that on royaltymusicbyshepherd.com. royaltymusicbyshepherd.com. And what I'm going to do, and I'm already working it out. We're making a page with Music with a Purpose with the first album. So that you'll be able to click on it and hear the songs and all that. But I'm going to do that once I release the second album. The other album is going to be like, you can see the whole album on GOCC Media, where you can have it on a playlist. So we'll have that once the second album is released. So it will be out there for you to get it. Yeah, and enjoy it. It's called Brotherly Love. And a matter of fact, I'll end the show with that song. All right?
Oh, thank you. That is a beautiful song. I've been looking for that song for years, and I play guitar. So now that I found it, man.
All right.
It's going to be amazing.
All right. Go on with your bad self. Good talk. I see you. All right. Thank you. All right. Thank you. And thank you for supporting the music. All right. Bless
no
you.
problem. Shalom, Billy.
Shalom. William has a question. William. How you doing, William?
Hello. Good evening, Elder.
How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. I'm part of the Seattle body.
How are you?
I'm very